You know what I'm saying? Let's get One Piece out of the way.
Yes, please.
Let's do it. So me and you have both watched One Piece up to episode 516.
Yes, sir.
That is basically the end of. I don't know how the creator said this is One Piece is apparently halfway now. A new chapter is going to begin now. The new world. There's going to be a time jump. The characters are going to have like 3 years or 2 years to train or whatever.
2 years to train.
2 years to train, and they're going to come back. Very similar to what they did in Naruto. Sorry to compare the two, but just saying. But
Was Naruto 2 years?
I don't know. I don't care. I think it was free. And the only difference with Naruto is they came back as a new show name, Naruto Shippuden,
Indeed.
where One Piece is just going to come back as One Piece. First of all, do you think that would have been a good idea if One Piece came with a new name?
Nah, no.
I think Right, go on.
Because
Sorry.
the thing about Naruto is they were trying to me, is that they were trying to show that he had evolved, yeah, as a person. Him himself has evolved. He's older now. But the thing with One Piece is about an actual element, a thing. Do you see what I mean? And it involves so many different people and stuff. You know what I mean? It's not called, Straw Hat Pirates. Do you see what I mean? Because if it was called Straw Hat Pirates and then they put, I don't know, ×2, then I could understand if they change the name, because, then you're trying to show that they've evolved. But One Piece is One Piece, isn't it? Its foundation is still the same.
From a management perspective, the way I see it is when you try to give something a new name, you try to give it a new identity. Like when I first heard that they were calling the new series Naruto Shippuden, I thought they were trying to separate. This isn't Naruto anymore. This isn't going to be the filler shit anymore. This is going to be adult. It's going to be hardcore. I even thought it might be more of a seinen show than it is. But no, that never happened. And with One Piece, like you said, it's unnecessary. To be honest with you, the characters are the only thing that's going to grow, but there's nothing else is really going to change.
In a way, it's quite funny, because when you do see the other pirates, they really needed to grow up towards the series, in a sense. Do you see what I mean? So it makes sense that they just kept the name, because, like we've both said, how we feel about the Straw Hat Pirates. They needed to kind of change their mentality anyway.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So let's start with the general shit. Basically, One Piece of the big three is the longest running of the big three. It was started in 1999. I was still in secondary school at the time. It's been going on for what? 12 years now. 2011. 12 years. I think that's my maths all right. And apparently, I'm not just talking about myself or you. Apparently, out of the three, it's the best running show of the three. I can attest to that. First of all, I'll say that. And it's a good show. I'll start by saying it is a good show. And it's no secret, it is one of my top 3 animes of all time right now. Does that make me am I a fanboy of One Piece? Kind of.
Oh, you fanboy.
I just want to say for people listening that we are going to talk about the negative stuff as well. But first, before we're going to do negative, positive, how we feel, and da 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 da. But first of all, let's just start from the beginning. Let's just talk about when we both started watching One Piece. I remember Rolo Dolo. He had bought the DVD box sets from eBay, and when I saw the cover, yeah, that's how we first had it. And when I saw the cover, he had it for like 2 years, and I hadn't even. This was 2003, 4, and all I saw was this guy with a straw hat stretching his arm, and I looked at it. Actually, I didn't think it was I thought he was a young boy when I looked at the cover, because I thought he was like a 10-year-old boy. I was like, what the fuck is this? One Piece? What the hell is this? Oh, it's good, it's good. I thought, whatever. Anyway, so GA watched it as well, and it started. I think this was around. I watched it in 2004. That's when I started watching One Piece, and it didn't have a lot of hype. Actually, it was very, very unknown. One Piece was very under the radar. But I think the one thing GA and Rolo was saying, oh, the villains, they're really, really fucked up, man. This anime, the villains are really messed up, and it's just pure cut to the chase action and adventure. Not like I think Naruto had just reared this ugly head at the time.
It was a beautiful head at the beginning. Beautiful, proud head.
Naruto just started coming out at the time, so I don't remember if I watched One Piece and Naruto first. I think I watched One Piece first. I really think I watched One Piece first. Anyway, it was from the get-go. I remember the one thing I would say about One Piece, the first 10 episodes or so, little bit misleading because it's very, the drawings are very slapstick, and it looks like just a comedy, kind of silly anime where they're just being funny, very humorous, a bit of action. I didn't really think much. I thought this is okay. It's watchable. I didn't think it was anything special, but soon enough, within 20 or 30 episodes, you started to see that the situations going on in the show were actually quite serious. And it just rang true to pirates. This was like a pirate. What things that pirates would do was happening in this anime, and it was just really, really fun to watch. And as it went on, it was just fun. One Piece is just really fun, very funny, good action. It's serious, but not too serious. Not melodramatic, I mean, but it is serious when it comes to things that's happening, but it's not melodramatic. I was just really enjoying it. And, to say what a lot of people say, has it got better over time? Yeah, it did get better over time. But when I say better over time, it's like, oh my God, it's so great. It just, it's so amazing. And the next season's even better. It wasn't like that. It's just, if you enjoy it in the beginning, somehow it just keeps to that level, and it just slowly gets funnier and funnier and funnier, and the plots are very, very interesting. The things that are going on, it just maintains, it's just persistently good. And that is something that is very hard to do with anything anime, TV, just to be consistent and be good and be funny. That's the thing with One Piece. It's very, very consistent. And I think that is the one thing that makes it so good. Does it have this? There was one. It had a dip, but that was with one particular saga that I'm going to get into in a minute. But I'm going to let you talk in a minute. But yeah, I would just say that I think the first thing I'll say is One Piece is ridiculously consistent, and that is something that sets it apart from other anime.
Okay. When I started watching One Piece, I think I was in the midst of watching Naruto. And this was something that you gave me. And at the time, I didn't want to watch it because Naruto was on a level and I was really, really enjoying it. And then to be told that, there's an anime about a guy that is made out of rubber, who's a pirate, didn't sounded as intense and as good as Naruto, basically. But yeah, I was proven wrong. Basically, I did find that, yeah, just like you, the first 10 or so episodes were really hard to watch because the drawing, it was just drawn badly. And yeah, it didn't make it that much easier to watch. But one of the when we're just talking about the beginning, the funniest thing that I remember is just Luffy in a barrel in the sea. That's one of that's the thing that just kept on coming into my mind, and that just kind of set the tone for me in regards to how fun he is actually as a character. Yeah, for me, One Piece, I would also have to agree with you and say that it is one of my favorite animes, but there's a lot of things that I have problems with it now. But we're talking about 500 plus episodes in, that I now have issues with. But ultimately, like I say, the thing that's really always important to me is storyline, character development, and those are the two things that One Piece has in abundance. Yeah, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Some of the sagas to me were long. In regards to you saying it got better with time, it did get better in time in a certain way. There were sagas that were very intense and interesting to watch. Yeah. So it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't one of them things that, oh my God, I can't live without it. It's just so brilliant. But it did definitely, every saga had an intensity and a level of enjoyment which that a lot of other animes have not been able to you know what I mean, come close to
Yeah.
for me. And so, yeah, I really, really, really have enjoyed it. And because I watch it in bulk and I don't watch episode after episode, it's something that I always look forward to watching and knowing what I'm going to get out of it after I've watched the saga.
Yeah, me and you, we watch it like yearly because One Piece is not. I don't think it's something you can watch week by week. It's just a lot. It's if you watch it on a week by week basis, I think it will look like not a lot is happening. To be honest with you,
Yeah, indeed.
because it's a long. There's sagas. Everything that happens in One Piece is a saga. They go to an island and the whole thing happens. It's like I think it's like maybe 30 episodes a saga, something like that. No, I think even longer, maybe 60. Every 60 episodes is a whole saga of something happening.
It's
So
very, very long. It can be very long. If I was watching that like one a week or two a week, it would be. I
yeah.
don't think I would have got as much enjoyment as I have had.
But in saying that, I think there's no anime I really watch like that anyway. I don't think there's any exception. I don't think there's any anime I've ever watched on a week by week basis. But One Piece is long, and the thing that really bothers me, the thing because One Piece is very very long. People, it's quite hard to. There's so much things we want to say. It's quite hard for me to figure out how we're going to do this. But let me start by saying something that really disappoints me with people who haven't seen One Piece. Yeah, it's kind of unavoidable now. Like, let me use One Life for example. Sorry to call you out, mate. One Life hasn't seen One Piece, the anime,
Seriously?
and I said,
None of it.
yeah, he
Nothing.
hasn't.
Okay.
None of it. None of it. So, I mean, people will be surprised. There's always an anime you haven't seen that would surprise
Yes,
someone
indeed.
else. So, One Piece is an anime, and I was like to him, One Piece is really good. He was like, yeah, I've watched Bleach and Naruto, and it's the big three. I just want to skip and watch the best parts. And I was like, you shouldn't do that. It's like, yeah, but these shonen shows, they always have their highs, always have their lows. Just tell me the best episodes to watch, or I'll just skip to the best arcs. And not just him. A lot of people, they say, "Oh, One Piece, 500 episodes. Oh, that's long. Can I just watch the
You
best
know the thing
parts?"
that the reason for me, one of the reasons why you can't do that with One Piece is because there is a level of comedy in with the crew that you will miss if you
Yeah.
what are the best parts? Are you talking about the best parts in regards to the fight scenes, or are you talking about the best parts in regards to drama? You can't really skip.
The thing about One Piece, yeah, that is very unique that I think we didn't clarify, yeah. I'm sure people will disagree. One Piece doesn't necessarily have a storyline, yeah. This is why you can't really skip the episode because there's not a story. In the first episode, they tell you what One Piece is about. It's about the pirate king called Gold Roger. He's dead, and before he died, he said, "I have a treasure, One Piece." Yeah, that's the black and white of it. That hasn't changed up to episode 516. All right, from episode 1 to 516, they're on an adventure to ultimately find One Piece. But it's about the characters, the people they meet, the things that go on in the anime. You can't skip that because it builds upon itself. One Piece builds upon itself upon every episode. Now, let me play devil's advocate and say, could you do that with Naruto? Could you do that with Bleach? You could do it. You could actually with something like Bleach, you could actually skip, in my mind, because it's a very linear storyline. Naruto, you kind of can't, just because, like One Piece, the characters kind of build
Yeah,
up on each other. So, but with a Bleach, you can.
you
Sorry,
can miss it. See,
people might disagree.
while you're saying that, I'm thinking with One Piece, can you miss a saga? Is there a couple of sagas, just say, in One Piece that you could miss that wouldn't affect your enjoyment of watching it or the storyline?
You can, in my mind, you can skip when they finish a saga. There's usually an interim of them having a side adventure. You can kind of skip them because they don't. If you miss them, you're not going to miss much.
But they're not really that long though.
They're long. They're like 4, 5, 6 episodes at the max. So no. Ultimately, and honestly, those interims are so funny. They're so funny. Like, I'm gonna randomly bring up some of them. Like, do you remember the interim where one of my favorite fucking ones I just remembered the other day. Do you remember when the Straw Hat Crew came back from Sky Island? When their ship dropped, they landed in the middle of the marine harbor.
Yes. Yeah.
And they all dispersed.
Yeah.
And that had nothing really to do with the storyline, but just watching that was amazing. There was another one where they ended up in a sports competition with one of the bad guys.
That was so funny.
Then there was Capture the Flag.
Okay, and that was, see, that's the thing. You can't, when you're even bringing them up, it's ridiculous because you can't. That's why you can't miss it, because
did they have anything to do with the storyline?
It has got to do with. Listen, One Piece is about a pirate's life. Yeah, a pirate's life, and this is what all of this is about. Is about a pirate's life. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. When you're saying missing the best bit, skip to the best bits. What are you actually asking to skip to? Do you see what I mean? Because some of the funniest bits for me have been just the crew talking to each other.
It has exactly. One Piece, yeah. Honestly, I've always used One Piece as my pick-me-up because it's comedy and it's very heartwarming comedy. It's not just ha comedy. It's like clever, funny, and it's kind of puts you in a good mood kind of comedy.
They do something that I haven't seen a lot in a lot of anime, which is they allow the characters to speak over each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're listening to, or obviously when you're reading one conversation,
Luffy,
yeah,
or Usopp,
Chopper might be saying something in the background, or Sanjay might be saying something in the background, and you see it, and it's funny. Do you see what I mean? You can't skip those kind of things, because it's ridiculous. You'll be missing a bit that you would literally crack up about.
But it's the sad thing is when I look at someone like One Life, he's watched as much anime as me, if not more, and One Piece is probably the only big one he hasn't seen. So I can understand his mindset. He's seen so much anime, and One Piece is an exception because it of all the anime, even Naruto, there's big chunks you can skip. There's big, massive fucking fillers, and even
wish you did
bits,
skip.
fights. You
Yeah.
wish you did skip because you just didn't get anything out of it. But unlike any other anime I've seen, One Piece is just, you just can't do it. You just shouldn't do it, man.
There are areas, like I said, in some sagas which I felt went on for too long that could have been compacted,
I totally agree. And you know what? Let's.
But before you even get into that, I want to talk about one of the things that I love about One Piece. Yeah, one of the things just right now, and it is the opening and closing theme songs. Seriously, yeah. I don't think, how many has there been? I think there's been like 15.
Oh, good count. I think that's exactly right. I think there's been 15 opens and closes.
Right? I think there might be more closing themes, because the closing themes.
Your shit right now. There is more closing themes than opening for One Piece.
The reason why I remember that is because usually the closing themes change a couple of series before the opening themes change. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
True.
And I don't think, apart from the foundational one, which I'm not gonna sing, right? I'm not gonna sing the foundational one. Yeah, the We Are one, which I'm sure you could put in if you want. Apart from that one, I don't think there's one opening theme that I've disliked.
Well, you people, when you press play on this episode, you heard I picked my favorite opening theme for this episode, which is the third opening theme, which is the one. This is a spoiler if you haven't watched One Piece. Sorry, it's the first opening theme where Nicole Robin joins. That yeah, that one.
I'm so happy that you're singing that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to sing as much as I did last time.
It's very hard to sing a One Piece opening theme anyway, or ending. It's very hard to sing that.
But as I was watching, I watched every single opening again. Yeah, they were really phenomenal. They are really great. If you just watch the opening theme, it really does. It just tells the story of One Piece as it goes along, because the crew members slowly join, and and they're very emotional. They're really
definitely
emotional.
And the thing is,
as well as the
music is great, and also obviously the skit they put together for it is really, really great. Most of them usually get you pumped up for what's going to come in the saga that you're watching. So I just wanted to put that in there before we start breaking this down. That the opening and closing themes, I beg anyone to tell me that they've watched a shit opening and closing One Piece theme, because I don't know.
You're always going to get someone that's going to disagree. You're always going to get
No, but I mean, you've got some opening themes that are atrocious. You just skip.
No, there isn't. There was one opening theme from One Piece that I didn't like, and I don't remember, but it wasn't that bad. It just was like meh. And obviously, they did do a remix of the We Are one again.
The remix of that, yeah.
It was good, but the problem is they looped it. There's a point where it ends, and then they did it again, and I was like,
actually,
oh no,
you're right about that. There was one that just went on. It just...
Yeah. That wasn't the bad one, though. That wasn't the one I didn't like, actually. I can't remember the one I didn't like. I should edit it.
That was the longest opening theme.
That was the longest one, though. The We Are remix one was the longest one. I think there was one really, really short opening they only used for a couple of episodes. It was in the Nicole Robin saga. And yeah. Anyway, you know what you want to say? I'll tell you how we're going to go about this now, because what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the characters individually, yeah? Then we're going to talk about some of the arcs. But before we do that, let's just get something out of the way. And let me calm myself down for this one. Because if I say let me calm myself down for this, you should know what's coming. And I just want to get this out of the way right now. Okay?
Breathe in again.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something even better.
Here's how the story goes. We find out about a treasure in the Grand Line, there's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king. His name is Luffy. That's Monkey D. Luffy. King of the pirates. He's made of rubber. How did that happen? Yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum. His name's alone, just like a samurai and a L-A-D-Y. Nami's not shy. Usopp's doing that marksman thing. Sanji's cooking. Chopper's doctoring. Set sail for One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Set sail for One Piece.
Why are you doing this?
How can we not address this? Let me just calmly explain what's happened. I think in 2006, it came to my attention, that One Piece was not dubbed. I thought that was really weird, because it was gaining lots of momentum. In Japan, I think it was actually financially the best running anime, because the merchandise for One Piece in Japan was selling some bucket loads of fucking money. So for One Piece merchandise made One Piece the biggest selling anime hit out there based on the merchandise. The anime was doing well as well, but the merchandise for One Piece, you can imagine with all the characters and all the apparel they could have sold, it was doing really, really well. So, I was just thinking they done everything. Bleach was already done. I think they actually dubbed Bleach before they dubbed One Piece, which was funny.
I just want to say, I really don't like talking about this. I really do not like talking about this.
Well, if you let me do most of the talking then. Bleach, Naruto, they were done. So many anime were being, I was like, One Piece, okay. So then the news came out, One Piece was being dubbed. And you know what's funny? I don't remember how I felt when I heard it was being dubbed. I think, and obviously, I was kind of happy, but because I was watching the fan subs, and the fan subs were so good. Because when you watch any most fan sub groups of One Piece, they animate a lot of the subtitles, which they don't do in other anime. I don't think I've seen a lot of anime where Luffy's doing his gomu gomu gomu, and then just the text, they animate the text well. I'm like, just watching, I was just thinking, I love the sub.
Yeah.
I love the Japanese sub. When I heard it got dubbed, I thought, in the back of my mind, I thought, man, I really love my sub. But I thought, just another reason to rewatch One Piece. So why not? Did I think they were gonna fuck it up? I did. I thought it's a possibility. Did I imagine in my wildest nightmares to the extent the damage they were gonna do? The saddest thing is, I think without a shadow of the doubt, One Piece is the most butchered English dub anime of all time. Honestly, people make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah? Yu-Gi-Oh was watchable. It was corny, but it was watchable. What they did to One Piece, let me be specific. We all know who the culprit is, but I'll point them out if you don't. What 4Kids Entertainment USA did to One Piece was ridiculous. And you know what? I found a link of one of the the executives talking about why it went wrong, blah 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 blah. But you know, let me just cut it short and save you the time. I'll put a link to that interview there because I found it anyway. But let me just explain to you what happened with the dub One Piece. Okay, it should go without. One Piece dub is atrocious. Okay,
That is
it is.
the biggest fucking understatement.
It's not just the dub. Because when I say dub, I just mean the language. The voice actors are
And
bad.
we're gonna talk even the
That-
friggin' names. The names.
That's what I'm saying. Not only did they destroy the language, but they changed the physical art. They redrew One Piece, and they changed names and places because they said for legal reasons. For perfect example is Zoro. I don't understand I don't know if it's based on that Mexican hero or whatever Zoro. They had to change the name to Zolo. Unacceptable. I would just say that right now, but whatever. Even, you know what? No, I can't even budge on that. It's just unacceptable. But anyway, I tried to find the perfect video because a lot of people have done videos on YouTube to how they redrew the things they did. Like, for example, in, I think, episode 3 of One Piece, one of the guys is holding a gun to the little boy Cody's head. In the 4Kids, the American version, they changed the gun to a hammer.
Is that any better anyway?
Does this make any sense?
I just don't even like talking about this because it's just bullshit. It really, really is.
Sanji doesn't smoke, he sucks a lollipop. Swords are replaced with sticks. Blood is coloured out. There's even one bit I couldn't understand it. Luffy had his mouth. Luffy has a lot of faces. When he gets beaten up, his face looks bruised. It's sometimes disgusting. Even if it's disgusting, it's funny. What they would do is they would just draw his face normal, or they'll just draw a black eye instead of having his animated bloated face like he's been punched like anime do. They just drew it normal. Anyway, we all hate the dub of One Piece.
You know the worst thing about the dub for me is that a friend of mine actually started watching it.
That's what I'm gonna get to. So I know I'm taking. You don't want to talk about. Let me just go.
People and punch something.
Basically, yeah. The thing I hate the most, the bad dub or bad translation or a bad recreation of a Western of an anime has been done before. But the problem is, yeah, they put so much money into One Piece, especially into how they redid it, that it was everywhere. That I was like, I would tell someone I'm watching One Piece, they'll be like, oh yeah, I see it on Nickelodeon, it's a piece of shit. I'm like, wait, sorry, not Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or whatever the fuck channel it was on. I'm like, oh, it's a piece of shit. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, Gaio, what the fuck what are you talking about? The intro is horrendous. You already heard the intro because I put it in here. But yeah, my thing, first of all, they made One Piece, they made people, alright, what the people saw was something else. And that was the biggest crime of all. What they were watching was not One Piece, but the damage was done, right? The damage was done. Anyone who had seen that show, I couldn't bring them to watch One Piece after that.
No one to watch One Piece. A good friend of mine was watching it, and I was disgusted because she actually thought it was good, number one. And I think I lost my temper. And then I tried to get her to actually watch One Piece. And at that time, because another thing is, because One Piece is so long, if you tell someone to watch a series that's 500 episodes, they're already put off by it. Do you see what I mean? Because it is such a long series. But then to do the English bullshit, piece of shit, I want to throw it out the window. Someone should burn it and burn the people who actually thought this was a good idea, dub of it. To get someone to watch One Piece after that, you can't do it. No one will watch it.
No, it was, and the worst part was, it was so bad, I couldn't blame anyone for not wanting to watch One Piece. And that's what hurt me the most. I was thinking, shit, if you've seen this, I'm fucked. I can't recommend this shit because, like me and you said in the beginning, yeah. Even if you have not seen it, yeah, I personally had a problem
Yeah.
with the first 10 episodes of One Piece because it looked silly. So what they did, they took that what I didn't like initially and they multiplied that by
I
1,000.
think also they just made it so they made it ridiculously kiddie.
That was the baffling thing of all. Sorry to cut you, but basically what you're saying is, yeah, this is the most perplexing thing about One Piece. It's not only that they ruin it, but I don't know if you wonder if they watched it because they decided that One Piece is going to be a kids show now, where it is not for kids. I know it's Shounen and it should be aged at under 16s, yeah, but some things happen in One Piece that is just a bit too brutal, all right? But they decided that, they're not going to go down that road. They're just going to edit it down because it's going to work better. How? Have you not watched the show? Let me get into this is the part where I don't blame you, any listener who fast forwards this part, because this is the part where I'm going to explain to you what the creative director, I can't remember his name, had to say about what went wrong with the dub and why they took this approach. In a nutshell, he basically said when they took One Piece, they saw it and they I think, I might be wrong, they kind of licensed it without understanding what it really was. And once they already purchased it and they actually watched it, they were thinking, how the hell are we going to market this to kids? Because if you look at all the other anime, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, somehow, yeah, you can kind of, without tampering with it too much, you can tone it down or edit it in a way that it's watchable for kids, but it's not too violent.
Yeah.
Bleach, even though there's some stabbing, some blood in it, you can kind of do some light editing in it. It won't look too bad. That's why even I was like, Bleach, really? Well, they didn't. Well, I'm just saying, they didn't. With Bleach, they didn't even do that. I'm not saying whether they learned from One Piece, but anyway, with One Piece now, you can't do it. Yeah, because what happens is, yeah, it's all slapstick and fun 1 minute, and then someone will get shot in their head. A pirate will just kill someone, and that's it. And then you're like, well, what can we do with that? Well, and then that's what the creative director was saying. We just didn't know how we were going to do it, and we just didn't know how we was going to market it. So they did some creative butchering to the show.
Absolutely sick what they did.
And if you listen to the review that I put up, because he explains it, and even the guy that had him on the radio station, I think he said he can't take any phone calls because he knew that the guy was probably going to get death threats for the way they butchered One Piece. Anyway, to cut a long story short, we all know that they butchered it. Well, for kids, they lost the rights to One Piece because I think the thing with One Piece as well, it gets progressively a little bit more violent. Yeah, but the violence is intermittent with One Piece, but the level of violence does go up. Like as the sagas progress, they get more violent. With each saga, there's more violence. All right, so 4Kids lost it, and then I heard Funimation were taking over. Funimation, they're better than 4Kids, but they ruined One Piece, so I didn't care. Even Funimation's much better. We'll do it better. So, and we're gonna do it uncut. We're not gonna do any editing. But you know what? The voice actors they picked were fucking stupid anyway. Especially for Luffy. That was the worst. Funimation. Sorry, man. It was too late to save One Piece anyway. At that point. But the voice actor you picked for Luffy in the English dub sounds like a 13-year-old boy. Now I understand when they listen to the Jap why they would think that might be the right choice. But it was the wrong fucking choice. Alright? It was just bad. And anyway, it doesn't matter. Because I would never watch any double One Piece. It's just too late. I'm just surprised how much they butchered it. And you want to say, I don't want to go on about this anymore.
I think you've gone on about it too much. I wouldn't have even given it the time of day. You should have just said that the English dub shit and we don't want to even talk about it. Because it's bullshit. That's exactly what I would have said. English dub, shit, let's not talk about it.
Well, let me end on saying if you somehow catch the English dub of One Piece, you're not watching the same show that I'm watching. Simple as that. If you're watching any English dub of One Piece, you are not watching the same show. I don't care if it's the Funimation uncut ones. They can't. I listen to the English dub, right? And it's not a good dub. They tried their best. It's not a good dub. It just doesn't. It takes away a lot from the series. So stay away from the dub. It's not the same show. Period. Okay. Anyway, you want to say moving on?
I mean, at the end of the day, just to add a cherry on that beautiful cake that you just baked. It doesn't even matter if you watch the dub anyway because it got cancelled.
The Funimation one is still going on, I think. Actually,
Are you sure about that?
I think, yeah. Piece is a money maker. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can check while we're talking, but I'm pretty sure One Piece is a money maker. It's probably the biggest. I'm not sure where. I know it's up there right now. It's still the big three, even. But I think the people that watch One Piece don't watch the dub anyway. Now, my issue, and I'm glad that we haven't moved off the topic because there's one last thing I want to say about the dub. I have a really big issue with One Piece, right? I want to buy One Piece, but if I usually buy the US distribution one because because you get good box sets, right? Now you're thinking, oh, you could just buy the Funimation ones, they're uncut anyway. But here's the thing, yeah. The way that the fan subbers have done One Piece, I love them so much. I would rather just send the Toei. I mean, yeah, I think it's Toei that do One Piece. I'd rather just send them money and keep the fan subs on DVD because no one does. And I think three fan subgroups. I'm gonna name fans. I don't want to get into piracy. Yeah, One Piece is the only anime I will pay money just for the fan subs.
The fan subs are freaking heavy.
The fans, I have to give a shout out to everybody who's fan. Three fan subgroups I have to shout out. Kaizoku fan subs, Vegapunk. I know Vegapunk are kind of dead now, and Yibis. These three, especially Kaizoku, they are the first group I watched One Piece with. They are still going strong to this day. And they are stuck on the Nicole Robin saga fan subbing, and I rate them for doing it because that is the worst saga of One Piece, which we'll get into anyway. But they're still subbing that. And Kaizoku fan subs, I even had to send them a donation because they took their time. They put more effort into it than the people who fucking package the DVD. And like I said, my issue now is I want to buy One Piece, right? But the way the US have packaged it, it's just shit. So, One Piece is the anime I really, really want to have in my collection, but you feel, oh, just buy it from Japan. Honestly, I bought DVDs from Japan. The DVD quality they use are shit. They scratch easily, they're shit, and and the thing about buying anything from Asia, I hope this doesn't come off to be racist or anything, but you don't know whether it's fucking fake or not anyway. There's so many knockoffs of DVDs, you could be buying some cheap shit. I want the official shit. Anyway, I know in time I'll get it, but I'm just saying, that's my problem with the dub. I really want to buy One Piece. I will pay the directors money. If the fan subgroups could give me a nice art box, I'll just buy it from the fan subgroups. Sorry, I'll pay Funimation their fucking money too. Alright, I don't care about any of that. One Piece deserves my money more than any other anime I've ever bought in my mind. Anyway, let's get over this dub shit now. I think we've spent half an hour talking about the dub. Well, I've spent half an hour talking about it. You spent half an hour listening. Thank you. So should we put up a spoiler because we're going to talk about the characters now? Yeah, because we're going to talk about all the characters now. And since I've been doing most of the talking, you go and you want to say, how do you feel about?
All right, Zoro's my favorite character. Yeah, I think he's sick. He's such a good.
Because we got international dialogue issues. You say sick, then I think you hate him.
He's phenomenal. Yes, he's dope. He's sick. He's crazy. You know what I mean? He's on a level. He's my favorite character, and it may be because I love knives. The fact that he's got three is kind of a turn on for me. I like it. And he's got some serious moves, but ultimately as well, he is very focused as a character. Do you see what I mean? I like the fact that, his backstory was clear-cut and concise. The way him and Luffy met, clear-cut and concise. What he wants to become, clear cut. Do you know what I mean? There is no, with him, there's no levels, and I kind of appreciate that. To me, he should be Luffy's first mate. That's my opinion.
People are gonna hate you for not saying Luffy. You're saying low,
no.
like low jack. I know I got run at the spill party because I was saying Luffy. Look at me, said Luffy. I know it's Luffy, but it just sounded like Louis when he said. But anyway, you know, I know, and you want to say knows as well. But just forget about the dialect of how we say Luffy or Luffy. Okay, we know it's Luffy. She will say Louis or whatever. Anyway, go on.
Okay. It's like you interrupt me, you put me off, and now I've got to, you know what I mean? See? And now I don't even remember what I was saying. The thing I like about the people might say the weakest characters, yeah? Which are Nami. I'm going to beg to differ, actually. Right? But anyway, Nami and Usopp, yeah? I like Nami because the fact of the matter is, foundationally, she's a thief, and out of all of the Straw Hat crew, she's actually the one that sticks to the pirate idea the most. Yeah, she is a thief.
I think Usopp. I can argue Usopp is the same though on that level as well.
No,
you can't say he's not.
The reason why I say Nami because she's crude. You know, she's cutthroat, and a lot of the times, you know, when you're listening to the banter, she kind of tries to use it to her advantage, and her and Zoro kind of get into it, especially at the beginning, because she tries to act like, oh, you know, she's a bit of a thief and stuff, and Zoro kind of sees through it, and they have there's always good banter, you know. So her as a character, even though someone would say she's the weakest because she doesn't actually have a power per se, even though she's a navigator, and yes, we all know about the weather thing, yeah, which, to tell you the truth, at the beginning I thought was lame, but as the story went
So
on,
did I.
I found it kind of endearing that both her and Usopp realized they were kind of the weakest, and they have to do something to make themselves on a level at a point. So to me,
realism,
so
I like it.
I appreciate her as a character. Plus, you know, the way she's drawn, she's funny. Her backstory is ridiculously sad, and I absolutely loved her backstory when she was, you know, spoiler, when she was stabbing herself in the arm. You know, the whole idea of what happened to her and her adopted, I suppose it was her stepmom or whatever. That the whole storyline was great. The fact that, you know,
it was horrible.
Yeah,
it was a really horrible storyline.
So
very, very sad.
That saga in itself shows that One Piece is definitely not for children. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking, and that was near the beginning. Was that the second? It was the second saga.
It was the second after they got Sanji. As soon as they got Sanji, they went.
No. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't when they got Sanji.
No, after they got Sanji, then they went to her island. Yeah. Basically, Nami was in the first episode of One Piece. She was always around. Yeah, but she ran away from them. When they all became a crew, she ran away.
Yeah.
And they had to go and get her, and they wanted to find out why she ran away.
Everything, her backstory is great. Usopp as well, another character that people would say is like a weak character. To me, he is Luffy's best friend. Do you know what I mean? And
he is.
You know, he proves that time and time again, you know? And as a character, he makes me laugh. He is so funny, you know? And, you know, his stupid little stories, his backstory was kind of sweet, you know?
And you're not going to tell me he's not like another real pirate. Every crew has a pirate like him.
With Usopp is that it's the dad thing that kind of gets to me. Because his dad thing.
What?
The fact that, you know, he's kind of going after he knows his dad's a pirate as well, remember? And he wants to kind of be like his dad. Yeah, and I don't know, he's a pirate, but, you know, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like...
You think he wants to find his dad more than he wants to be a pirate?
He wants to find his dad more than he wants to be a pirate, but it's a slight element of it. And for some reason... it just makes me feel a bit about him. It's saying that he foundationally has the same zeal as Nami in regards to being a pirate. She just seems like she's born to be a crook, and this is foundationally for me what pirates are supposed to be. You know, there are no nice.
I feel some sexism in what you're
Whatever.
saying, actually.
I
But
don't
go
care
on.
what you think. I'm just telling you what I think. That's all that matters right now, right? So for me, you know,
Hmm.
Usopp.
Of course.
I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to take away from him as a character at all. He's funny. His stories are ridiculous. He's a wimp. You know what I mean? He's wimpish, but there are moments, especially in the last two sagas. The saga before, when they were at what's the land with the bubbles?
Skype.
Thank you. Where he came to he tried. Do you know what I mean? And he
Oh no, you mean the Archipelago Chipango?
yeah, the one, yeah.
Not Skype. That's Sky
When
Island. I
they
mean the
were all getting
Archipelago Chipango, whatever the fuck it's
when
called.
they were all getting spirited away, you know, that there is a poignant moment where Luffy calls for Usopp like to do something, and he does not run away. He tries, and to me, that was like a moment when you actually saw, you know, that he's a man. You know what I mean? He's really gonna stand up for his friend and stand up for his crew. You know what I mean? And the fact that, you know, there's moments I like Usopp as a character. Don't get me wrong, I do. Yeah, I'm just saying that I don't think he's foundationally got as much as the crudeness as Nami. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but as
I
a
could agree
character,
with that. It didn't sound like you were saying that, to be honest
well,
with you.
that's what I would. If that's not how it sounded, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Mm.
Sanji, yeah, he's at one point he was one of my favorite characters. Yeah. I love the relationship he has with Zoro. I love the fact they're always fighting amongst each other. I love the camaraderie and, you know, the lines they're always throwing each other, the funniest lines. That's why there's no such thing as good parts in One Piece, because a lot of One Piece is about talk, is about actual storyline. There's a lot of conversation, and you miss the fun if you try and skip just to the action. And yeah, so Sanji's story, like his backstory, again, a really, really, really good backstory. You know, the way that whole came about, and he's a cook, which obviously.
Really? We disagree about that. I think he's as well as just like meh.
No, I thought his backstory was good. I thought it was his backstory.
And ironically, Sanji's my favorite character, and I actually think his backstory is kind of meh.
No, I thought it was good, because obviously, you know, the way that the top chef like sacrificed himself, you know.
Didn't that kind of feel exactly the same as Luffy? I'm just saying.
No, it didn't feel that way. And you know why? Because Sanji's angry. He's an angry guy. Do you know what I mean? He was an angry little boy.
I'm just saying about the being in the sea and the monster thing, that was kind of similar.
Well, I didn't think it had the same
effect,
yeah,
obviously. The one thing in particular.
Yeah, you know, so to me, I like Sanji's backstory. It was, once again, it was quite clear cut, you know, and it all worked out well for him. My problem with Sanji is his one hot foot. I don't even know. It doesn't even grow, you know. When I actually saw everybody else, when he got to the point where people were powering up, you know, his moves, I love the fact that he uses his feet. And I also love the thing that I really, really love about One Piece, and it has to do with the subs as well, is the fact that their moves, like his moves, are all food moves they do it in different languages, don't they?
What do you mean?
In regards to, you know, when he does like a hand kick, it's called something French.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, and a lot of even the villains. Oh God, I can't remember. There's the villains. Some of the subs, some of their moves, you know, like Luffy's go, that's just his thing, yeah. But some of their moves are actually in different languages, like German. I thought you would have noticed that in German or blah blah blah. And Sanji's moves, a lot of them are in French. They're like French.
I could understand that with Sanji in particular, but the rest, are you sure?
Yeah, some of them, yes. I'm not saying all, but some of them are in different languages.
Okay. I commend you on your attention to detail.
Yeah.
If that's the truth. If that's true, I mean, if that's true, I mean,
Yeah, well, if you don't believe me, look it up and see.
it's okay. It's
Some of
kind
it is in
of,
different languages, but whatever.
it's a minor too.
But what I said, the thing I don't like about Sanji at all is that he didn't really grow to me as a fighting character.
Let me intervene there, even though I'm gonna have my turn and just say I think I agree with you, but I think the real problem is they're kind of confused whether he's a cook or fighter, and because he's both, they don't want him to be an actual fighter. That's why he won't actually. I know it sounds confusing.
I don't think you can actually say that, because it doesn't matter whether you are a cook, a navigator, a shipwright, whatever you are, a doctor, you are a pirate.
No, but what I'm saying is, when you look at it in the terms of a shonen anime, if you have a power, you're meant to grow. But then if you don't have a power and you have a talent like cooking, then you're really just meant to do that. But because they put both in him, it's like, we don't want it to, because then he'll, if you have a power, you're all about the power. If you're about the cooking, you're all about the cooking. But with Sanji, it's like a bit of both. And because of that...
you say the same thing about... Are you going to say the same thing about Chopper then?
Nah, because
he's a doctor.
No, the difference with Chopper, there's a big difference with Chopper. There's a big difference. You might as well talk about Chopper now since you brought him up. And the difference with Chopper is he's a devil fruit user. So whether he likes it or not, he has powers.
Okay, yeah, but Frankie's not. Frankie's not a devil fruit user.
Yeah, but he's a cyborg. And he uses weapons. So, that just runs with it. If you want to bring up a better example, it's like Nami. She is a navigator by trade, but she's trying to do something else.
Yeah, because why is she trying to do something else? Because ultimately, she has to try and do something else, because ultimately, you are a pirate. You need to know how to defend yourself. They're not going to leave you on the ship and say, we're going to go and rob an island, and you go there, cook me some chicken and some rice and chicken. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day...
Nami's got a gadget. And that gadget...
Because she hasn't got anything else.
I know, but Sanji doesn't have a gadget. Unless he wants to become... Alright, let's turn this into a devil advocate for a minute, yeah? The only way Sanji would really evolve his foot is if he decided to train as like a martial artist, right? And if he did that, I wouldn't complain. But then it would be kind of weird to throw that in now.
I don't know what you're talking about. The fact of the matter is, you are a pirate, right? Whatever else you are is a plus. Now, when we were watching One Piece, one of the things that, we all get excited about, which was very cleverly done, is that a lot of people turn around and say, oh, we need a shipwright, or, oh, we need a cook, yeah? But ultimately, you need a group of people that know how to fight. Ultimately, you need that. So you can't just turn around and say, oh, I'm a cook, so, at the end of the day, if I know how to fight, it makes my character weird. You're pirates.
I'm not blaming him, though. I think that's where you're confused. I'm blaming the writing.
I'm not saying you are blaming him. I'm just saying that I don't appreciate the fact that he hasn't grown.
Yeah, neither do I, but...
As a whatever. And when I see that half-lighted foot, I'm just like, can it not come up to his knee by now? Shouldn't, you know what I mean? When I saw him lift up that, he calls it Diablo something, whatever, foot, yeah, and it's supposed to be so brilliant, I'm just like, are you freaking serious? One foot, not even up to the knee. You know what I mean? It hasn't even spread to the other foot.
The point
or an arm.
Make is, for him to do that, you would have to see him train or learn, and he's meant to be a cook. So if you're going to stop him cooking and then have a time, all right, let me train to be a better fighter, it's going to be like, okay, well, what's going on here? Now Sanji's decided he's going to be a better martial artist and a cook as well.
Yeah, do that then. That's what he should do.
It wouldn't have bothered me. And that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't have bothered me, but it's too late.
I don't think it's I don't think it's too late, because when you see Sanji, he is fighting in the kitchen, yeah. And by the way, where he came from, they are cooks and fighters there, and that's where he learnt to fight. So it's like you have.
Yeah, but they're not training. They're not all about fighting. That's my point again.
Yeah,
they're not training to be master their art.
It doesn't matter whether you're all about fighting. It's the fact that you're now going on your adventures. You just the same way that you should improve your cooking, yeah, which he's now decided to do anyway, and he never really did any of that in before that.
That's not true. He always did look for a better way to cook when it came across. They didn't. This is what I like about Sanji. They didn't shoehorn in things for him. That would have been bad. That's my point. For him, for them to shoehorn in, oh, I'm going to train to make my feet better. It's like you're not really.
I didn't want to see him training. I just wanted to see him be better because ultimately he's always
He's going to get
trying
better,
to fight.
but you're not.
No, but ultimately he's always trying to fight with Zoro. Yeah. That's their thing. They're always trying to fight each other. They're always, even if it's play fight. So to me, it's like you think you're on his level. Yeah, you think you're on a level with him. When it comes down to actually, when they go to an island and they're going through the saga, Sanji's one of the main fighters, isn't?
All right, is that how it seems now? Because that's in my mind that isn't looking the case anymore.
The last 2 seasons, no, but before that, he was one of the main fighters. It was funny.
He's become weaker, and I don't like that myself.
Exactly. So that's my whole point. So
I know. I agree, but what I'm saying to you is there isn't much they can do about it now.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Especially now.
Well, but me and you both know, even with the time gap, he ain't gonna come back all that much different.
What I'm saying is, go on.
No, that's what I'm saying. Me and you both know he's not going to come back after this training all that better, because even the place where he is, sorry to jump people, even the place where he's at, it doesn't seem to be all about the fighting. It seems to be underlying about the cooking.
Yeah, obviously they wanted to make it both again. But foundationally, they've made it both again. So what they are saying to me, is that you can do both.
Got a little bit of interference there, so continue.
Yeah, so what I was saying is, I do want him to be both. I want him to be a cook, and I want him to be able to kick some ass. Because if you remember in one of the, I think it was the second to last, I think it was the third saga now, when that guy, where they took a picture of him, his mugshot, and it was that guy's face.
Yeah.
And the guy, he was walking around. I think that was a mini saga or something.
Again, you see, again.
And the guy was walking around with a mask on, and
that was before they got to the Archipenge Shapenga. I should call it Bubble Land, because I can't say that name.
Land. I don't know why they didn't call it Bubble Land in the first place. Bubbles all over the place. Anyway, when he was walking around with the mask on his face, and we were like, why is he so angry at Sanji? What the hell's the point? And once again, I'm going to say this again, this is another reason why you can't skip One Piece, because when that guy took off that mask and you saw he had that face that was drawn for Sanji's mugshot, who would have thought that was the reason why? It was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Do you know what, actually, just to correct you, I don't think they used that guy's face as Sanji's mugshot. I think they said that they couldn't get a picture of Sanji, and the guy drew
it. That's what I mean. Yeah, so they drew, I'm sorry, let me say that again. Whoever drew the picture of Sanji, because I remember that Nami was all making herself look pretty to take her mugshot picture, and then they laughed at Sanji when they saw his picture because someone drew it,
I remember why. I just remembered why they couldn't find it, because I remember in the Nico Robin saga, Sanji was the only person they couldn't find. I know you probably can't remember, because Sanji was actually, he kind of saved the crew because he was the only one they couldn't find. Then that's why he's the only one they didn't have a picture of him.
So
I remember he's good, people.
I remember he's good. So why I bring this up is because when you took the mask off and you saw that he had that face, it was hilarious. And then what was really funny was when Sanji decided, you don't like your face, eh? Let me help you out. And he basically kicked the guy in the face so many times that he gave him a mini facelift.
All right, you know what I mean? Let's move on from Sanji, because you know what? You said Zoro's favorite character. I know what happened. Sanji got downgraded. He was your favorite character.
He was my favorite character, and then I saw the 1 foot, the heated lava foot, and it was just ridiculous.
The thing is, me and you are on the same page. Even though Sanji is my favorite character, and still is my favorite character, he has let me down with fighting ability, because every other character seems to strive to be better, but he's... The way they've written him, it's the writer's fault. The way they've written Sanji is quite poorly, because it's poor in one way, where I can't see him growing too much. But in another way, I'm glad they don't shoehorn in things. Like, I'm glad that he's not just going to turn up one day and have a superpower that we never saw how he got it.
All I'm saying is, cook and kick. It's not hard. It even rhymes, cook and kick. Cook and kick. That's exactly what he does. Do you know what I mean?
He could be better. That's ultimately he could be better. And I don't know what's gonna happen in the new world or whatever. So he could be much better. Hopefully he will be much better because
I think he will definitely be better because where he is now and what happens on the island anyway just shows that he is going to be better when he comes back. The fact of the matter is they've all got to hold their own. Here's the thing. Right now we are talking about the top level of the Straw Hat crew. Yeah.
I wouldn't even bother with that anymore.
No, but I'm just saying no because I'm assuming at some point you've got to just have minions. If you're a real crew, you've got to have minions. So these are going to should be the top, the heads. Do you know what I mean? And so you've all got to be able to hold your own, whether you are a devil fruit user or not. Hold your own.
Well, unfortunately, I think One Piece, especially the Straw Hat crew, they're not gonna have minions. They just aren't.
I hope they do.
It would be more loyal to a pirate crew if they did, but I can just see it's not gonna happen.
You know what? Maybe at the end, maybe the end of One Piece, they will have minions. I don't believe that they'll have minions while we are watching it, yeah?
Yeah.
But I assume that they will have minions.
All right, let's move on to your other character now because we spent too much time on this one guy.
Yes, because he's your favourite.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about him.
I talked about Zora's my favourite, and I didn't go on like the way.
Actually, you know what? Don't kiss Sanji like that. You know what I mean? He's a real, and if you don't treat Sanji like that.
Vivi-chan, that's what you love.
Vivi-chan.
That's what you really love, because that's what you would be like.
The thing I like about him, I don't know if women think he's a soft. He ain't a soft. He's soft to women. But he'll kick ass as well, all right?
No. He definitely brings comedy as well to One Piece. And I was just watching. We just watched the last saga, and he just gave the funniest face to that he/she, and I nearly just busted out laughing. He just gave the way they drew his face was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing, and it was because he's disgusted because of where he's at. You know what I mean? But anyway, whatever. Right. So now Nicole Robin. I have a major problem with Nicole Robin.
Your real favorite character.
Nicole Robin, as Crocodile would say.
Nicole Robin. That's how Nicole Robin.
I mean, Crocodile's crazy.
You know, GA loves Crocodile because he's got that laugh.
Crocodile is one of my favorite villains, man.
He's a great villain, though. But sorry, let's continue this.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, I have a big problem with Nicole Robin, and my problem with Nicole Robin is the fact that she's shit. Right? She was much more interesting. No. She was much more interesting before she joined the Straw Hat crew. When she was with Crocodile, I thought her power was so freaking interesting, and they made it out to be like it was powerful. When she had the hands coming out of the wall, when they were in Alabasta, and she was trying to stop people from coming into the castle, to the palace, and she had those hands in the wall, and anytime someone touched them, they would get killed or whatever, right? She sliced them or break their necks or whatever. I thought she was a really, really great character. When she joined the crew, and she didn't really even join them, if I remember, she was kind of taken captive, was it? Or they allowed her to...
She invited herself
onto the
crew, and then she just asked Luffy directly, can I do that? Yeah. And they were like, don't invite this bitch.
Yeah, exactly, right? As time has gone on, all she friggin' does is read books, and her power is really whack. It's so boring. And the only time... It's just boring. I just don't understand it. She's got worse. And I actually thought when she was with Crocodile, it was like, I can't help it because he's such a great character. So
that's how we have to talk when we talk about him.
Anyway, sorry. When she was with him, she was flipping ruthless. When she was snapping people's necks and stuff, I actually felt like she was killing people. Like, really, she seemed like a ruthless character, right? And she actually seemed foundationally to have the same thought as, I would say, like Nami would be like pirates kill, which we could talk about for ages, about this subject, about the Straw Hat the Straw Hat crew as a whole and their whole pirate, and what they think pirates are and what we think pirates
We're gonna get to that as well. Go on.
right? So to me, her as a character, she's just got weaker and weaker and weaker. And in one of the last sagas where they went to that flipping Halloween land, what was that land called?
I don't remember. Call it Halloween Land.
Yeah, Halloween
Zombie
land.
Land.
Whatever. And I'm sorry, people, if we're spoiling your belief that we should know everything about One Piece and know every single land, but I don't. I can't be bothered. Sorry. When she made her hands turn into wings, I actually thought, oh, this is cool. And then she was like, I can't carry you much longer. I was like, oh, fuck off. Like, seriously. Literally, you're so freaking weak. I just think that since she's joined that crew, all she wants to do is just sit around and read books and find out whatever
the answer, the great mystery. She's looking for the thing I like about One Piece. Ever spoke about. They got this thing called the dark history. There's a black time where it's just something happened in this time that they don't want to talk about, and that's what she's trying to investigate, as well as find something. She's looking for something as well, like One Piece, but also she wants to unlock the mystery of the dark history.
You know what I mean? She's become some flipping inspector, you know. But
yeah, I totally agree. Sorry to cut you.
Sorry, go on.
No, because I'm not going to have a turning. I'm just going to interrupt you and just join in and leave it like that.
Going on. I know I'm going on. So
no, not really. But you're speaking for both of us anyway. But basically, yeah, you saying Nicole Robin got weak and weaker. I disagree. I think Nicole Robin just didn't want to. She was only doing what she did. After you see her backstory, you realize she was only living that way because she felt she had to survive. And as soon as she didn't have to, she stopped. She doesn't do anything as part of the crew, like you said. She just sits there. I wouldn't even say looking pretty, because she doesn't even dress up anymore like she used to. She used to dress foxy, but even now, she's just sitting there reading her books, and she doesn't do.
And she doesn't have no conversations with no one.
Unless she's very timid, very quiet. She's a very lonely person. She likes having people around her. She likes having a little laugh. You see her laughing.
Yeah, she's in the background. She's laughing, and you know what I mean. It's like it's all in her head. It's all in her head. You know what I mean?
She likes furniture. You know, she likes being there. She likes. I think she's. You know, it's
literally when it comes down to it, actually friggin' do something. Be ruthless. Her move. When I first saw her move, where she grabs, you know, the hand comes out of the chest or whatever, grabs you by the neck and breaks your neck, and you hear the clunk. You know, I actually thought this is friggin' brutal, man, and I really like that.
I think they tried to put in a more mature character because everyone else in One Piece has got a zany element to them, and Nicole Robin's the oldest and most mature character.
Yeah, she's supposed to be. Is she supposed to be around the same age as Frankie or something?
I think she's just a little bit older than Frankie, not by much, maybe 2 or 3.
Are you sure older?
I checked the profile on her. I think she's a bit older than Frankie.
Damn. So basically, she's supposed to be the mother. No, I won't say mother. She's supposed
Nicole
to be
Robin's either in her late 20s or early 30s.
Yeah, no. Frankie's older than that. They always refer to him as old man, which means...
You check the profiles, come on.
Check the profile, all right, Don? Because I need to know if I'm right or wrong.
You need to know.
I need to know.
That's okay.
Come on, man. Check the
profile. All right, go on. Continue what you're saying.
Anyway, yeah. So... I just found that I was excited about her, and as all the female listeners will know, I want good female, you know, characters that are freaking brutal, you know. So I really thought to myself, yeah, she seems like she's gonna be a bad chick, but ultimately she just turned into be a flipping bookworm, you know, and I don't want to see that. And then
that's where she came from.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the end of the day, she had to take care of her. She has to take care of herself, you know. So ultimately, do something to take care of yourself, and I don't think she really did. She
doesn't have to do anything anymore, innit? She lived on her own for years, and now she don't want to work no more.
Yeah, but even when she's looking for the answer, nobody's interested. No, she doesn't even come back and say, "Oh, I found out this great knowledge."
Oh,
she's like,
man, you are gonna laugh when you find out how old Frankie is.
Go on.
Suffice to say, I'm right. But let me just check Nicole Robin's age. This is funny. If people already know and listening, they're probably just shaking their heads right now. But go on anyway. I just want to find out Nicole Robin's age right now. But go on.
Okay, cool. Anyway, yeah. So for me, she to me has become one of the weakest characters, one of the most disappointing characters. I don't see her powers growing any more than it has done. She's got hands. What can she do with them? Not much. You know, the last one was I can create wings with my hands, but I can't carry anything except a book. Lame.
You ready?
You know? All right, go on. I know I'm going to feel shame. Go on.
Not really. I don't blame you because she does look old, but I knew just by looking at her, I knew he was old. But this old? Can you guess the age difference?
Please don't tell me it's like 10 years.
All right, look at the animation and just guess what age you think Nicole Robin is.
I don't think she's that old, though. All right, I would think Nicole Robin maximum age must be 35.
Okay, and what do you think about Frankie then?
I thought Frankie was old, so I thought he was in his... I'm not saying 40's old, but I thought he was in his 40s.
Okay. Who do you want to know first?
Tell me, Frankie.
38.
I was near.
He was.
Yeah, okay, come on.
Nicole Robin was 28. The thing is, I remember even calculating her age because they tell you how long she's been on the run for. She was a kid, then she was on the run for like 10 years. So she was 8, then 18, and then you can kind of...
Yeah, but did I say that Frankie's older than Nicole Robin? I did say that, right?
Nicole Robin is older than Frankie.
Are you sure? I thought I said Frankie is older than Nicole Robin.
No, I said Frankie's the oldest character in the crew, and you were like, nah, Nicole Robin is.
No. I think you better relook at that. I don't think I said that.
Well, it's in the recording, so you're going to soon find out, innit?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I did say that Frankie's older because I said they call him old man a lot.
You're going to soon find out.
Yeah, we will. Anyway, whatever.
I'm going to write on a post, you were wrong. And you want to say, and I'm going to put the timestamp there as well.
Good, and then if I was right, I'm just going to say, nah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, that's true. I won't say. If I was right, yeah, anyway. So, right, so we've got Frankie. Frankie's character I like. At the beginning, I didn't like.
Your boy, Chopper.
Oh, did I miss Chopper? You know what? At one point, he's so cute. I wanted to get like a little Chopper bunny.
Mm-hmm.
For Biggie, I wanted to get a little Chopper bunny. But anyway, Chopper's storyline was really, really cool, right? But I could not stand hearing him crying. There was a lot of crying by Chopper done in his backstory. Yeah?
Got a little taste of that in the recent episodes, didn't you?
And it really, I don't even want to go into that right now, but it really got on my nerves. Every 5 minutes was crying, and I was like, oh, God, this hurts to hear you cry.
It's like wailing, isn't it?
I was like, oh, God.
You won't sing, but you don't mind wailing down the mic. Jeez. All right. Loved Chopper's story. Great.
It was very sad, I must say.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with Chopper, to say the truth.
Do I? Neither do I.
All I really wish is that his little what are they called?
Yeah, his balls. His
balls would last a bit longer.
I wish he didn't have to take them.
His checkpoint, is it match point, checkpoint?
Yeah, match point, checkpoint, break point, whatever.
Yeah, and I don't, to tell the truth, I understand why he has to, in a way.
But I'm thinking, I don't know, man. It's kind of like people say, you know, about Spider-Man and the web and without the web cartridges, which is better. I prefer Chopper without the pills. I just wish he had a time limit on each transformation.
Yeah, a proper time limit, yeah. And sometimes I wish he would be more big Chopper, like human form Chopper, a bit more than little Chopper.
I think he does that on purpose. I think he's even said he doesn't like being in that state. I've even said that. He just wants to be himself most of the time.
Yeah, probably because actually when you do look at his backstory and the fact that he tried to relate to humans being that way and they rejected him anyway, I can totally understand that actually. So in regards to Chopper, he does not bother me at all. I like his backstory and he can be extremely funny. I like the fact that they make him cute but he swears a lot.
Yeah.
I think he swears the most in out of all the characters.
You bastard! Stop it!
Yeah, stop telling me I'm cute.
You bastard!
Yeah, you fool. You know what I mean? So I like everything about. I don't have no problem with Chopper, and I actually think that as a character, he grows and he pushes himself a lot.
He
does. What I mean? He really, really does.
I totally agree. I don't even have to talk about him much more because I don't.
That's the reason why I kind of missed him out because to tell you the truth, I think he has got all the elements that I'm happy with.
We're saving the worst for last, but let's go on to our second to last, Frank.
Right, Frankie, you know what? What was funny about the whole Frankie saga for me was the fact that there was one point when I was watching that saga and I did not. Actually, this is the truth. All the way through, yeah, that saga, I remember us talking and me saying to you, he's not picking him. It's him! It's him!
All right, people, just to clarify, in the Nicole Robin Frankie saga, there was a guy, one of the guys that was helping build their ship. No, he wasn't even helping build it. There was one guy in Frankie's town. I think does he dance on air or something?
Yeah, he was heavy. He was wearing a tracksuit. He was wearing like a tracksuit.
Yeah, and he had a funny nose like Usopp,
Yeah.
and he had a hat, and he would dance off air. Yeah, he was a cool guy, man.
I remember all the way through that saga saying to you, it's not that guy. It's not him. And you were like, you want to say, man, it is him. It's him. I was like, no, it's not. It can't be him. And I don't know I just did not want it to be him.
I think at one point they were looking at him like it could be him. They actually said they wouldn't mind if it was him. But if you can remember, that guy turned out to be something else.
He did turn out to be something else. But the thing was, when I look back on that whole thing, I actually like the fact that they did that because it did get to become a kind of thing where, a lot of people would turn around and say, oh, we need a
This.
doctor.
And then he will turn up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it is fun watching the series like that because it leaves you thinking, oh, who's it going to be next? Because they've got to get someone next. But it was kind of nice to not know because usually when you go to whatever the saga is, you know who it's going to be. It's just like how you're going to get them, Yeah. So the whole Frankie thing, I was all the way through it. I mean, he was literally in it a lot, but for some odd reason, I just didn't want it to be him. And probably because he doesn't wear no trousers. I know that's so lame. But the way he looks, I don't know what it was. It was just something to me. I just thought he might be a little bit disjointed for the group. I don't know what it was.
I agree, but the thing is, he brought that comedy. He brought a slightly newer, different type of comedy because he had his little cheerleaders and his super, and he was very like I really like this guy, and he's a bit wacky.
It was a bit too wacky for me. And the thing was, that town was actually quite subdued in a way. It wasn't as crazy as he was.
Exactly, yeah.
So it was really weird. So most of the time I was kind of like, oh, really? Can't it be that guy over there? No, that guy. No, really? Really? And he always wears pants and the stupid dumb moves and you know what I mean? Even when you knew that he was like, he built things and I just still did not want it to be him. But ultimately, I will say he's grown on me. And you know what? I know I didn't want it to be him, but it was so bad. Even when he got the ship for them or whatever, I built the ship, I still didn't want it to be him. Even when he was fighting on their side, I still didn't want it to be him. Yeah. It's really bad. But he's grown on me a lot. Definitely grown on me. And he's a very, very good addition to the team. That's what I'll say about him.
And I see Frankie as an overseer. Like, I don't think he went to join the crew as much. It's like I think he went to protect them. Like he wanted to help them on their journey. Not so much for himself, but like, I love the ship. I want you guys to succeed. So I'm gonna join you because you guys need a ship, right? I don't mind being on the journey, and I want you guys to succeed. And that's what I like the most about Frankie. He really wants to help the crew.
Yeah.
I really don't think he would have, whether he joined the group, it didn't bother him. They really had to persuade him, by the way, to join.
Yeah,
they really didn't want to join. He really wasn't, but he was busy. He had his own town, and he could have built ships.
His life was kind of already settled.
Yeah, he's a builder. He can do his inventions as long as he's doing his inventions. He's happy. So, but he saw Luffy, he saw what they were doing, and but I think he's an old man. He's lived his life. He's all right, but he really wanted to help the crew. And he's a good guy, man. Really, really good guy.
His level of maturity is good for the crew.
He is. He does act wacky, but you can tell that he's mature. He's a mature guy.
and I kind of like that. So he's definitely been a character that's grown on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate him.
Ah, boy. I know what's coming next. Yo ho 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 ho. Yo ho ho ho.
I mean, he's the worst character.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
And I really want to say goodbye.
We're talking about Brooke. He's the latest addition, the most recent addition to the Straw Hat crew, the Skeleton Man.
And this was, to me,
Can I see your panties?
it's just nothing. There's nothing endearing, exciting, or funny about this bag of bones.
About the pun, you want to say? Why just use the pun?
Talking about pun, if he sings that song one more fucking time, I'm really gonna like do my nut. That's the only good thing about actually the last two sagas is the fact that I haven't had to hear him sing that bloody song. I mean, to tell you the truth, you know what? I didn't like. There was nothing about him.
He should have been. I'm not going to say much about Brooke because it's like I don't like. He is to me the weakest link. He doesn't bother me when he sings. It's like sing something else. I just try to ignore him.
No,
And
how can you say that though? Because when he sings, they all bloody sing, and it was getting on my flipping nerves. It's horrible.
But if you notice, they kind of cut it down because even I think they've realized that
You can't say that, Don. You can't say they cut it down because we're not seeing him.
the reason why is just because they kind of as soon as they got together and as soon as he joined, everything kind of went tits
Yeah,
up.
they dispersed. But
Yeah.
hold on a minute. From when he was on there, how many times did we hear that song?
A lot.
And it was the slow version, the fast version. I was waiting for the techno version or the hip hop version because it was getting bloody ridiculous.
The thing about Brooke, I thought you know what? When I saw him, I thought, are they gonna pick him? It looks like I thought for a minute, nah, they'll just take him to the next island and leave him. He's gonna be because you get some characters that, like Vivi, for example, that hang around with the crew for a long time, and then they get left somewhere and then they move on. So I thought, hey Brooke, you're not gonna be part of the crew. You might be around for a while. As soon as you find a place, as soon as he finds you, sit with a place, you'll be on your own. That never happened.
I mean, let me tell you something. When I'm talking about Minions, I believe that he should have been on the third tier of Minions because personally, I don't see what he brings
Nothing.
to the team. And he
is the weakest thing. He brings, the only thing, he has a really good story, and that is all.
Yeah, the story is really, really good. I'm sorry, he's got the lamest. What would you call that?
I don't know what his power is, mate. His power is he's undead, but
yeah, that's his power. That he lost his skin
that's his
and
level
his bones.
power. But as for his fighting ability,
he's a swordsman.
Because he's another swordsman, I think they want to play it down. And it's like, oh, he can walk on water too. I'm like, can he? Oh, he can put people to sleep.
No,
huh?
He doesn't walk on water. He runs on water. And he can't carry anything. It's because he's light. That's why he can do that. Which don't make no sense to me anyway.
I know.
To tell you the truth, that's dumb.
You might as well be able to walk on air then. If you can run on water, you can run on air.
Because I'm light. Because you don't have flesh. So that means that you can run on water. Does that make sense?
He looks really... I know they think the Afro thing was funny on Luffy. That will never not be funny.
No, the Afro thing was heavy on Luffy.
But on the bones, it's not really funny. The Afro thing, it's not really funny.
You know what? The fact of the matter, whether it is or whether... I don't even think about it. When I look at his head, I just wish that someone would just blow it off. I don't really think...
I think it'd be better without the Afro. If he just looked like a skeleton, that would actually bring him up.
But really, to tell you the truth, out of all the other characters they've got, he is not worth it. He's really, really not. He sings one song, right, and nothing else. And, sorry to jump to where we are now, what the hell is this about, really? He's stuck in everybody else is going to grow. How's he going to grow?
I've got some good news for you. He's going to learn some new songs.
I wish he could learn everything.
But does that mean he's going to sing them? Because apparently he knows a lot of songs, but he doesn't sing them, does he?
Here's the thing. There was one episode where he was up in the morning, everybody was sleeping, and he was just playing, right, the fiddle. And it was just a nice melody. And I thought, oh, this is all right.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, I was like, oh, hells no. Do you know what I mean? Do I have to hear this again? And it just consistently, and it's like wherever they go, oh, Brooks, sing us a song. I'm like, no, really? Can you not think of anything else to sing? Do not make this the soundtrack, considering that you have such good intros and outros, theme songs. why the hell have you picked this to be a theme that I've got to listen to through watching One Piece? It really dampened my spirit, to tell you the truth, for One Piece when they brought this character in, and every time there's your bandies, I just feel like, oh, this is so. It's not even funny.
To me, he doesn't bother me. He's just a mist. He doesn't hit the mark. When I just like, he's just not funny. But he's not. He doesn't like, oh, get off the screen. Oh, move. Just go out. I don't feel that way with him.
No, but they try and make him a part of the comedy. And to tell you the truth, you already had Chopper and Usopp and Luffy, which were fine as
The trio.
the trio comedic, you know. So when they now try to bring in Brooks as one of the one to make it 4, I was like, why?
His own. Because you got Zoro and Sanji bickering, then they tried to put Brook with always bothering the two ladies, but he doesn't even do that. Because Sanji's the one always in between the Robin and Nami anyway.
And that's always fun.
So he serves no purpose, you're right.
He really doesn't. And it really bothers me. I just think that he's the weakest, more than the weakest link, because also on top of that, they don't want to bring in his fighting skills.
I know the worst part is, a musician is such a strong character for One Piece. It would have been a great character for One Piece.
I think it should have been.
A musician would have been great. No.
I think it's the wrong character for him to be a musician. The fact that he's a Skeletor anyway, with skeleton, whatever, me anyway, and I just think that he's just a boring character. And once again, like I said, they don't really bring in his fighting skills, because in the last saga there is elements of where he should. It's like I don't understand whether he's a good fighter or a bad fighter. I don't know what he is. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes when he did get back his freaking shadow, whatever, right? I thought, okay, he's going to be a good fighter. Then he does a couple of moves and he's a good fighter, and then he reverts back to being a shit fighter.
Mm.
And I just think, and when he's like, oh, I've got to fight, his whole saga, I've got to beat that guy.
He didn't do anything.
I was like, what are you doing?
He didn't do anything. He lost. He didn't do anything. Zoro had to save him.
So what are you then? You sing
a bag of bones, like you said.
Yeah, a bag of bones. Well, they should just bury him then. You know what I mean?
Bury him. You're cold. How come you always find a way to be harsh?
Rest in peace, or pieces, whatever. Just really get out of here.
Well, if you want any of the Straw Coat crew to die, at least we know who you want your first pick to be.
He's already dead. I don't want him
He's
dead.
already dead. Yeah.
I want him gone. He's just, to me, I don't. And to say the truth, the only thing I liked about that whole thing was when just the idea of Luffy saying to someone, "Oh, be part of my crew," and them saying, "Yeah." That was the only fun bit, and they were like, "What?" Just like that.
Yeah.
The funnest bit that he's ever done.
Yeah.
End of.
He did the same with Nicole Robin. The exact same. Can I join your crew? Yeah. What? I don't like this bitch. She tried to kill us for me. Nah, she's okay. Nah, everything will be fine.
When we were discussing this character anyway, I just thought, a musician. It didn't bother me, the musician part, but when I'm just so disappointed.
I just think they wasted what could have been a great character on this bag of bones. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to waste any more time talking about this guy.
So I'm sorry, people, that I've gone over and beyond about the characters.
This is going to be the longest episode because it is One Piece. And you know what? Unfortunately, it's not over yet. We got a lot to talk about. This might even be like a kind of double episode. Who knows? But basically, just some other characters in One Piece I really like. All the villains are great. All of them.
Oh, there's one villain not all of the villains are great. There's one villain that I can't freaking stand.
Is it Buggy the Clown?
I know, you know what? I know that's Rolo Dolo's favourite character, and I can totally understand why it would be Rolo Dolo's favourite character, and I'm sure a lot of people really like him.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
But he's written in a way that you're meant to hate him. That's why I like him. The way you feel about him is they don't want you to like him. He is despicable, and he's weak. He's despicable. That's why I like him, because he is what they want you to be. So, it's kind of like, they're kind of manipulating you.
Okay, then. So then I've fallen for it then.
Really? Yeah, you have. Because how was he meant to feel? Can you really like this guy? And Rolo likes him for that reason. But the only thing is, part of me wishes Nah, but then I changed my mind. Sometimes I wish maybe it would be better if he was strong, but he wasn't. But then the guy that I thought they got to replace him was the guy who could slow down people. That guy is a great guy.
Oh my gosh, that was, you know what? That was one of my funnest sagas, out, mini sagas.
Yeah.
That was one of the, oh, that was so
First
fun.
he came when he tried to steal. They had the competition.
Yeah, the competition saga. That was the funniest one because, oh, the slowing down thing was so funny. Yeah, he's a better character to me than Buggy.
Oh, and oh my God! And how could we not talk about the unofficial member of the Straw Hat Crew? Talking about a character that grows on you, man. That guy who
Love
can
him
change.
to be part of the crew.
Yeah, he was gonna be a great character, man. The guy who can change. He fought the Straw Hat Crew in Alabasta. He was a
What's his
bad
name?
guy.
What's his name? What's his name? Sugar. He's a number anyway.
I can check while we're talking anyway.
Oh, that guy's so funny. He had that legendary fight with Sanji when so funny. Obviously we're talking about the guy who can change face and body to be anybody, and he's fighting Sanji, and he keeps on turning into the women, and Sanji just gets pummeled.
Yeah.
So funny. What a great character. And then obviously seeing him and Luffy working together was really, really fun.
Yeah. Because, I thought, is he really his friend? But he really was,
He
man.
really-
He turned around quick, though. Huh?
Sorry, I keep on interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, I said, in Alabasta, he turned into the ally really quickly. It was really weird. It's like after they beat him to a pulp, he just decided he loved the Straw Hat Crew.
No, you forgot. Remember, they fished him out of the water or something. Do you remember? Or his ship went down, and he was on, and that's how he got all their faces. Do you remember?
Yeah. Oh, he met them before they
He
even
met
fought.
them before they got to
Oh, so they
Alabasta.
were actually friends before they met and
Yes.
turned to enemies, and then they turned back into friends.
Yeah, it was funny because he came on. I think I can't remember people, but I think the ship. Something happened to his ship, and he got on Going Merry as it was at the time, and Luffy and Chopper and Usopp were just going crazy because they kept on trying to make him do different faces, because like Sanji and Zoro and stuff. So they were having a good old merry time, and they didn't even know that they were enemies until they got to Alabasta.
I'm looking at the guy's name. I think it just came up. His name is Bentham. He was part of Barracks Works. Number 2!
Oh, it's number 2. Oh, there you go, Bon Clay. And he said his words were in French as well.
He was number 2. How could I forget? Because he could change people. I remember he was one of the most diabolical. He was the one. He basically destroyed Alabasta himself. He changed into the king.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He really did some serious damage, man. Crocodile had some good bad guys on his villains on his side. Nicole Robin and him. I don't even know what number Nicole Robin was.
I think was she?
She might have been number 1.
I think she was number 1.
I think she was number 1.
What a waste of freaking time.
Sorry, people. Total off topic. But I have to bring up that guy, man. Mr. 2, Bon Curiel. Oh, yeah, that's not Mr. Clay. Number 2, Mr. Bon Curiel. Great character, man. I can't wait for
when he used to fight as well. That I think his was in French as well.
Luffy, you need to go back to Impel Down and rescue that guy.
You really, really do, because that guy was friggin' useful, man.
Yeah, and he will make a great character. He was funny, very funny.
So funny.
He's gonna fit right, changing into people. I can already see how funny he can be.
He was so funny. And you know what? If you really want a musician, why doesn't he just touch that flipping bag of bones' face, and they could just act like it's him for a time?
Oh my God, man. One Piece has great characters. Some of the side characters are better than some of the characters on the crew. Well, especially Book.
Everybody's better than Book. Wet Fish is better than Book. Sorry.
But anyway, you know what I say? Let's try to move on into
Yes, let's move on. Coming in.
the sagas. I guess we can kind of wrap this up because One Piece is all about the characters. That's what I want. So we can spend all this podcast talking about the characters because that is what One Piece is about. Now the arcs, the Nami arc is like the second or third arc is the best arc. Then you got the go into the Grand Line. Then you've got that's when the Crocodile Saga comes in. Then you got the go into Sky Island. Then you've got coming back down with the sky. It's so, I mean, there's no point us talking about the arcs. If you're listening to this podcast, you already know how far One Piece has come. The only thing I will say, let's get into negatives about One Piece,
Oh,
because
please, let's do that.
I think we've gone on about how much we love it in our own special way. And first of all, let's start off with the worst arc, and that's the Nicole Robin saga arc. The thing I want to, a big criticism is, let's talk about like the One Piece movies. Now the movies, I think from 1 to 7, they're all just side stories, yeah? But movie 8 and 9 are retellings. Like movie 8 is the story of the whole crocodile, the Alabasta story. It's just one movie based on that.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, I watched the movie, it was pretty good. They chopped up, they chopped up, it made a good movie, ultimately it did.
It unnecessarily, though, I believe.
It was unnecessary. I don't know if they wanted to, thought they were trying to draw a romance between Nami and Vivi for a minute, but Luffy don't go that way, so it's all good. Not saying he's gay, I'm saying that it's not a romance anime, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, movie 9 was the Chopper. And you know what? Again, I thought, it's a movie, One Piece movie is going to be just summaries of the stories. So when they did Chopper, I said, you know what, man? This could be a good thing, because if they make a movie with that Nicole Robin saga is the longest, most dragged on saga. I think it's like from episode 200 to 330.
So long.
It's 100. It is long. And the reason why I say it's long, yeah, I think about 20 of those episodes are flashbacks. They do flashbacks of each crew member. Then they not only do flashbacks, then they do this off story of Luffy in feudal times. Remember those? I didn't really enjoy them. Luffy, Detective Luffy in the feudal age.
Yes, with flipping buggy.
Yeah, I didn't really like. Actually, out of all the spin-offs or fillers, those are the ones I dislike the most. They were still watchable, but I just didn't like them. So anyway, let me give a shout out to Kazoku fan subs, because they've been fan subbing in the Nicole Robin. They've been fan subbing that saga for 3 years, and they're still not done. It is that painful, man. They need to. If they make a movie of that saga, you will save me. Like, if I had to give One Piece to someone, they won't have to watch those 100 episodes.
Yeah, actually, going back to what One Life said, yeah, actually, when you think about it, there are some sagas you could miss by watching the movie, and now when you think about it, it's actually true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are.
The problem is with the reason why you can't skip the Nicole Robin saga, it's just because it's tied in with the Frankie saga. On top of that saga is when Luffy learns his new ability as well, which is very, very crucial. So there's something, I wish you could skip it, but you can't, because there's a couple of fun and even worse.
And there's an and?
Yeah, the most, and actually it is probably more important than Nicole Robin herself and Frankie. Spoiler, the end of the Going Memory.
Oh God, yeah.
And that is a big thing between Luffy and Usopp. There's a lot of character development in a lot of that saga, actually. So
yeah, that definitely needs to. Yeah, once again, I suppose I'll have to take back what I said and go with my original thought.
You can't skip.
You can't skip, because it has got a lot to do with character development and the actual talking, the
dialogue.
Thank you. Sorry, the dialogue that's in One Piece, that's important. And when you do skip it, you do miss that.
You do, man. That One Piece has great character development, man. Like nuance I said before. Let me go back to what you said about soon. And actually, this is where Usopp and Luffy, they start to get a rift when they start to realize the ship that the ship that Usopp helped get, the first ship they got, the Going Merry, starts to break down, and Usopp has a serious attachment to the ship, serious attachment to the ship. And I'm not saying Luffy doesn't, but he realizes he has to move on, so there becomes a rift. But not only that, Usopp also starts to feel useless. Like him and Nami start feeling that these other guys are like superpowers, but us, we're just weak. And it turns into a really big character development arc where Luffy and Usopp part ways. And then we have Soge King, which I'm not going to get into.
Too funny.
I know. Comedy again, man. Did I say this? I don't think I said this already, and you can call me a pussy, but One Piece is one of the only animes that actually. What's the one? What's the manly way to say it? Yeah, got me choked up. Yeah, that's the manly way to say it.
If you say so.
Yeah, not on regularly. I mean, still, there's some things that happen that gets you choked up, man.
I mean, no. I was just saying if you think that's the manly way to say it. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there another manly way to say it?
I don't know.
I cry like a baby. How about that?
No, I'm not a man, am I? So I don't know. Anyway, I feel like
You're funny, man.
I feel like you're definitely right. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up because I'm that kind of lady.
And yeah, there's no anime that is. Few anime have made me tear. I'm telling you, I'm even having trouble remembering other anime that's made me tear up.
But let's just leave that for the moment because we're talking about the negatives. Are we?
Yeah,
not?
sorry.
So,
Thank you for being me. I don't think we can talk about any more positives anyway. Negatives. So anyway, like I said,
there are loads of them.
there are, and but like you said, you want to say they've only started to rear up over time.
Indeed.
And they've compiled. Let me start by saying this from the beginning. A problem I had with One Piece, yeah. When you watch it, it's kind of linear, but they always hint at things like, oh, Shanks, and the Pirate Ever and One Piece. And when you get to episode 200, 250, you actually start to wonder, am I ever going to see these things that they keep talking about? Am I ever going to, they get to the Grand Line, and although they're powering up, they don't seem to interact with other pirates. They go to islands, they have they have, right, when they go to an island, there seems to be some kind of situation going on the island that the crew interacts with. But as for this, they don't really have pirate battles against other. I mean, there's so much going on in the world that they hint at. It just, at episode 250, I was starting to wonder, am I ever going to see these things? And now, at episode, when you get to episode 400, I think the writers started to feel it's time. It's time that we, draw the curtain on One Piece and start bringing these other elements in, Like, they showed you Luffy's brother Ace, and they showed you the Blackbeard pirates, and then you saw Shanks. I mean, you saw Shanks in Luffy's backstory. You never saw Shanks again until episode 200. Then you never saw him again. You didn't see this guy for so long. What the fuck is going on? But then by episode 400, something happens, and then they have started to draw back the curtain. My issue with One Piece now, which I've said on the previous podcast, is focus. Because now, especially when the crew kind of separated for whatever amount of time, they've introduced a lot of different elements of One Piece, which is all good. But it's a 20-minute show, okay? Is it going to be about the Straw Hat Pirates, or is it going to be about these other pirates things going on? How are they going to do this? And it was a bit, watching it, it was just a bit, One Piece is easy to watch, but I didn't understand, as the viewer, I don't know what they want me to enjoy. Enjoy Straw Hats, enjoy these other pirates. I feel like I'm being pulled in the darkness. I'm not complaining. And it might not sound as much of a complaint. It might not sound like a complaint at all, but, first it was getting very repetitive, and now, I don't know. I'm worried for One Piece right now, just because, are we just going to fall, now that the crew's getting back together and we're going to new world era, are we just going to fall back into our old, let's go back to finding new crewmates and this, that, or the other? I know it doesn't look that way, but that's my question. That's my fear. And it is a negative right now. To me, it's a negative thing right now. But, over the 10 years One Piece has gone on, and over the time I've watched it, its own repetitiveness and it's the formula that it was going by was showing its ugly head. They've changed it up now, and I'm still enjoying it. But yeah, that's the biggest negative I have. I might sorry if I wasn't very concise about what I was trying to say, but One Piece has just always kept things in the dark, which, to round up what I'm saying, it's always kept things in the dark. Now they've got too much things going on, that's basically what I'm saying. They've got too much things going on, and I don't know how it's going to come out in a coherent way. or I don't know where the story's going to go because they've got too much going on. So, and yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
I have major problems with the last season. I understand. I agree with you with what you're saying. We have been watching it for a very, very long time, yeah, and it hasn't messed up as much as a lot of other anime has. But there's elements that happened in this one which I didn't like, and a lot of it was filler in ways that they tried to make it interesting, but it was filler for me. Are we doing spoilers or we not?
Yeah, go on. You have to, man, because you've warned them. Just go on. You're talking about the last saga, the Ace saga.
I'm talking about the Ace saga, right? Ultimately, Ace dying at the end. I have to agree with what Rory was saying on the last podcast you did in regards to that. To me, I didn't like it. It pulled at my heartstrings. Yes, it did, and it was emotional and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I really did not think that he should have died.
I agree. Totally, actually. I'm sorry to intervene.
Don't have to be sorry. Go ahead.
It's just that when you look at why he died or how it came about, he's really fucked up. He just tried to do something really noble, and he got fucked. And not only that, well, they tried to, it's not just about that. He's Pirate Gold Roger's son as well. He has to. I thought this is insane. I really felt it came out of left field. I really felt that came out of left field.
And and I have to say this. I know what you're saying about them keeping us in the dark, but there is something about not knowing everything about the captain, which always makes it intriguing. And I liked that about
Luffy. You're talking about now.
Yeah, I liked that about him. Because even when Ace turned up on their ship, everybody was surprised. Oh, you got a brother. And because of the way that Luffy is as a character anyway, he's kind of like very nonchalant about things. It's like, yeah, it's my brother. And, you know what I mean? And it just made you feel like, it didn't make you feel like he was hiding anything like Nicole Robin.
No, you mean that when Luffy said, oh, yeah, he's Pirate Gold's son, but that's a secret.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, that was a secret. You know, it's a bit, it's interesting, or to find out who his grandfather was. The way that things got found out, in a sense, seemed more real to his character. Do you see what I mean? So it didn't really bother me. What I didn't like was when we got to Bubble World, and I'm going to keep on calling it Bubble Land.
Yeah. Archipelago, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's the fact that we got inundated with all this information all of a sudden. We got the backstory about Gold Roger. We've got more information about Luffy, I think. Just that whole thing, it just seemed like we got so much information all of a sudden, and I didn't really like it. It felt like I was being rushed with all this stuff, and I didn't really feel that if this was really the right time, if it really went with the flow of what One Piece is for me up to that point. But then
okay, you know what? I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, but hold on, let me finish. I suppose people could argue, well, how long did you want this to go on for? Because it's taken us nearly 10 years to get to this point. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say. Go on.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want you to cut me, which is true. Do you see what I mean? But I don't know. I suppose you get used to the way things are going, and you expect it to go that way, and you get little nuggets and be interested in that. Yeah? In regards to going back to Ace, the fight he had with Blackbeard, was that a movie?
What? What do you mean?
The fight that he had with Blackbeard.
No. It wasn't.
That was just that was the mini saga, innit?
That was one episode. That was just one episode.
Why
it was just one episode. It was longer. It was just because it was just one episode dedicated to Ace having that one fight with him.
Yeah, that in itself, that one fight, was enough. I thought that was already enough for Ace. Do you see what I mean? Why he had to die, I have no frigging idea. I know why he had to die, but I just felt it was very, very unnecessary. The way that it ended, that fight at the end, you didn't know who won, you didn't know what happened. You know what I mean? That was great in itself. Fair enough. He gets captured, he gets taken, blah blah blah, and Luffy has to go save him. Fine, but the point of it, the fact of him dying was lame, and the way he died was one of the most brutal deaths.
It was brutal.
We've seen, and the person that killed him
Couldn't give a fuck.
and was literally invincible. We'd never seen him before in my whole entire
I
bloodline.
know.
Do you
I
see what I
know.
mean? Everybody else we'd seen before. But this guy, this molten, you know what I mean, volcanic piece of crap, demonic, crazy asshole,
Yeah, asshole. To the
really,
10th degree.
really, it was so, you know what I mean, left field for me that I just felt to myself, I just didn't understand it. It made no sense why he had to die, you know? And so I didn't appreciate it. On top of that, I felt that they really started to drag on the last season. The beginning, we had the.
Are you talking about the flashback now? Or are you just talking
about the way that even the episodes. I'm just going to go into the way the episodes were actually done. Right?
Okay.
Was so freaking long. You had the opening scene, yeah. Then you had a review of everything that had happened.
Let me do it for you, because I just want to be clearer.
Be concise.
Concise like I do. You got the musical opening.
Yeah.
Then you got the, I don't even know what to call it. You got the wanted posters on the table opening.
Yeah, then you got the one. Yeah, thank you.
Then you've got the rehash.
No. Before you got the wanted posters, haven't you got a little bit about Gold Roger?
That is all. That is the wanted posters as well.
Okay.
That is the same thing. And it's a 3-part. You got the music, then you got the Gold Roger wanted posters opening. Then you've got the rehash. What happened in 2-3 episodes back? And
not even 2-3 episodes back. It might have been the episode you just watched.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
Then you got the episode, and when you look at the time, it's 4 minutes gone.
4 freaking minutes.
21 minutes.
Let's remember the end. The end is now going to tell you what the next
episode is
going to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
You want to say? I just noticed something. One Piece doesn't have any more ending music no more. No, maybe because we watch fans, so maybe they cut it out. But I haven't seen ending music for a while.
No, actually, hold on a minute. No, I haven't. No, in this saga, no.
For a long time, they started doing these quick. As soon as it says the end, you see a review and it just ends. They started doing that for a couple hundred episodes, like since episode 4. Anyway, people, if you've got this far in the podcast, please let me know when they started doing that. Actually, I'll just look to Google myself sometime.
Anyway, yeah. So to me, it was like, you're wasting my time. You're really wasting. You're trying to drag this out so freaking long, and it's so unnecessary. Like you never did this before, and now you're doing it now, and it's starting to really piss me off.
Just imagine watching it day by day.
Day or week by week. Literally, the only time I'd need a rehash like that is if you're going to show me 2 episodes a month or something. Do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
We're already complaining about that as well. Funny enough.
Yeah, because obviously, and I don't know if it is because of the fact that, it's so popular that they just want to draw it out even further.
It does feel that way.
Know what I mean? I just felt that this is absolutely, and the thing is, if they started doing this in the second saga or the third saga, fair enough. But we've been watching this thing for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And so for them to start doing it now, it's just starting. It's really, really annoying. On top of that as well, going back to the whole Ace and Luffy thing, and him trying to get it Ace and whatever, I was bothered because throughout Luffy trying to get Ace and everything, you saw flashbacks of their past, of them getting together, which obviously helps pull at your heartstrings in regards to him getting Ace and their bond together. Fine, fair enough. So after this whole thing's done and Ace is dead, and I thought was lame. And you know what's also quite funny? There was one bit when he died, when Luffy was saying, "Save him, save him." They were like, "Now all his organs have been burnt out." You know what I mean? Like, and it was just like, don't even think. There's no way this guy's coming back. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're making us know.
He was impaled, man.
Yeah, which was crazy. But I know I've said that already. For us to go through all that, and I loved that scene. I loved it when Luffy's brain just busted, like he just snapped. I just loved that whole scene. Fine, great. And I thought it was I did think it was a bit brutal, the way that Ace hit the floor and then there was all this splat of blood or whatever. I'm rambling a bit and I do apologise.
Okay.
When we then, after all that, had to go back again to the beginning of their growing up, their life story, I was thinking, are you freaking serious? You've been showing me this all the way through this freaking saga, and now I've got to go back and rewatch
I
it.
have to say, even I thought it was a little bit. You don't just show a character's death and then expect them to what. It's a little bit sadistic to make someone watch their birth and death again after just watching getting killed. It's kind of fucked up. Even I thought.
And the thing is as well, I'm not even talking about anybody that has watched that will know that they really went into depth about Ace while Luffy was trying to get him, like him beating up people because of his dad and people saying him he's worthless. We saw all of that. Even when he was impaled, big hole in his stomach, he's all talking about he wanted to be loved, and we get to see another flashback about how he felt and ultimately what he really wanted in life. So why the hell do I now have to go back to the bloody beginning and watch that whole thing again? Yeah? And if anybody says, okay, it's because of Sabo or whatever, I don't really give a shit. Yeah? And I'm going to say the reason why I don't give a shit is that watching that saga really pissed me off, because at the end, I actually felt like they were taking the piss, because I don't care if it's a spoiler, we're doing spoilers. It's obvious that guy's alive. Yeah? and he's on Luffy's dad's ship. And it pisses me off because it makes me feel like, so you've replaced one brother with another. Do you know what I mean? At some point, we're going to see this guy. Do you see what I mean? So it just pissed me off. I just didn't understand why they needed to do that. I didn't understand why I needed to watch the whole thing. I didn't need to see Luffy as like the little kid and everybody saying, oh, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying it was a boring watch. It wasn't a boring watch. Yeah? But was it necessary? No. And are they definitely just milking any kind of any leftover gold out of the series? Hell yes, because that's exactly what they did by doing all of that backstory again, which mostly we had already watched. So that's my big gripe. And on top of that as well, I have a lot of problems with the last saga, because there's two episodes when they talk about, when Luffy goes back to Luffy went back to Marineford and he did that whole thing and rang the bell and everything, and then he had that thing on, he had a message on his arm.
Yeah.
Right? Fine. First, when I saw it, I thought, has he tattooed Ace's name on his arm or something? And I was thinking, whatever, because I couldn't really see it. Right? We watched 3 freaking episodes, I think.
Of them going back again.
Of the crew going back again. Oh, I get it. Yes, I love you. We get it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
They should have just done it all at once. They did do it all at once. Then he went individually again for another realization shot, another reaction shot of everyone. Zoro's one was classic. You know that, right?
Yeah. But I'm just talking about that whole thing. Like, why do I have to watch 3 episodes of them just saying we're going to meet in 2 years?
It was kind of corny. It was very corny, actually. I was like, come on, man, don't do this. A couple of them, Chopper's one was really good.
It's not it didn't bother me going back to see what they're doing. It just bothered me that they made it go out for 3. I think it was, I'm maybe exaggerating 3, but maybe 2 episodes. Whatever.
It was even. I was like, come on, man.
Why do I have to?
They read it in the paper, then they read it in the paper again, then they read it in the paper again,
and then when you think about it, because we had the 3, now we have 3 openings. Yeah, that you just went in concisely and discussed, and then we have 2 or 3 episodes of them looking at Luffy, looking at the paper, saying yes, we understand. It was just a freaking piss take.
Yeah, it was.
I was just like, what the hell is this? What am I watching this for? This is bullshit. I don't need to see this over and over again. And it did feel like you're taking the piss now. You're just really trying to wring out these episodes.
Building up hype, innit?
Yeah, and it's so unnecessary. We're not freaking stupid, and it kind of pissed me off. I know before...
Oh, man, you really, really hurt me, though. You didn't figure out that thing about Sabo.
I didn't watch it. I didn't rewatch it again. You might as well... I watched it, to tell you the truth, Don, I weren't really that interested.
If I tell you, it's not going to help. I just wanted you to I don't... You know what? I'm on YouTube right now, people. And, I'll just tell you what happened. I was watching One Piece, this last flashback saga. I see this kid Sabo. And I hear his voice. And I don't know what happened. I was like... There was one point I was like, this guy sounds familiar. Then I think I went to get up to get something to eat and I left it playing. I turned around You gotta be fucking kidding me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to tell you like this, man. Do you know what I heard?
Oh God, I don't even know if I want to know now. Go on.
You're not gonna like this, man. People, I did my research because I went on YouTube. Some guy just done a 4-minute video about it, and you know what? I will play you a clip so you can hear it again because I don't know what you're gonna say. I will apologize for anyone who didn't know this. I said I've heard this voice before, you know, and I looked at his face. I looked at the color of his hair, and I said, "You didn't do it, man. This guy, you really got the guy that did Naruto to do his voice. Are you joking? This is Naruto. Really? Jesus Christ." And I said, what? So when this guy comes back, he's gonna have a job with the One Piece guys now, yeah? I was like, yeah, I was like, you know what? A lot of people didn't notice it, so I guess he did a good job. But I'm sure as hell I ain't gonna forget that voice. As soon as I put the word Sasuke in my mind, like, yeah, that's him.
Oh, bloody hell. Are you serious?
As soon as you play it, now that I've told you,
You know you've ruined it, but you've made that even more abominable for me to rewatch again. You do know that now, don't you?
Good voice actor though. He fooled you. You didn't even notice.
I weren't really paying attention.
He was in your face a lot of the time. You didn't.
Yeah, that's true. I can't.
There's
Yeah,
no excuse. You watched him for a while.
I didn't notice.
A lot of people. It's the guys on YouTube telling people didn't even notice. So I just turned away from the screen
Leave you.
and I heard him screaming. So, and I was like, this sounds familiar. Naruto?
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
The way you even said that is funny.
I'm telling you, I was looking at his face. I looked at the color of his hair, and I said, blonde. And I said,
Not funny. That's not funny.
and I was like, no, it can't be. I was like, no. Naruto tried to work his way to One Piece. No. Anyway, I really wanted you to find out on your own, though. But anyway, you want to say this conversation is coming to an end. Anyway,
It is coming to an end. Right. My last thing that I want to say about it is, especially about the last saga, is like I just said, I didn't agree with Ace dying. That was bullshit to me, and it was lame, and it was unnecessary. But it did pull at your heartstrings. Whatever they wanted, the job that they wanted it to do, it did. Do you know what I mean? It was an interesting watch. It was just sad.
yeah.
And so unnecessary. Ace
He really didn't deserve to die. It was a horrible person to pick. He was
didn't.
like, he didn't deserve it. And the point, it's like, the point that I got from Ace's death is that they will kill you just for who you are. The guy, forget about what he did. Oh, he was a pirate anyway. They didn't kill him for that.
Do anything.
They killed him just the main reason we have to eradicate this guy's bloodline. This is unforgivable. That bloodline is venom. It must be exterminated. Simple as that. And as soon as Luffy, you're his brother. You know what? By association, you gotta go next. You're finished. You're not even here at all. And then, you know what? You've had your criticisms. I'll make my simple criticisms about the last saga. Alright? In the last saga, when Luffy was running to Ace, characters disappeared. For example, there was a point where, Zoro's, I don't even want to say mentor now. I can't tell you how much that bothers me. Even though his mentor was like, you've got no shame. That made me laugh.
You're pathetic.
That made me laugh, but
I'm your enemy and you're still kneeling to me. Yes, because I hate you, but I want to surpass you so I can kill you.
There's some kind of weird Japanese honor in that. That's what I like. It was like so fucked up, it kind of made sense. Anyway, my thing with the thing about when Luffy trying to reach Ace, there's a point where that guy's like, you know what? If your destiny is to be Pirate King, then I shouldn't be able to stop you. So this guy gets in Luffy's way a couple times, tried to fucking kill him, yeah? Then all of a sudden, there's moments where characters disappear.
Yes.
And he's one of them. He's just not anywhere. When Luffy's running, the guy's just not there. And you're like, what happened to him? Not only him, the guy you hate with the flipping, he's drawn like a real human with the sunglasses.
Oh, let me tell you.
There's points where he disappeared. Like, what happened to him? Where is he?
I mean, you know what? I hate that guy so much. Why did they draw his face like that?
Standing around, there's a bit where Luffy is right next to Ace, yeah, and the only person between him and Ace is Luffy's granddad. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe the like, no, they just let it, all right, let the granddad do it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
they just let it go. They let him go.
if there was a scene where they were like, we're testing the granddad now, he has to beat Luffy, or we're going to turn on him. They don't even bother with that. So then after Luffy punches granddad once, and obviously his granddad on purpose stays down, then you got that guy I hate, Son Goku, who turns into a giant golden
Buddha, like a Buddha.
perfect
Yeah.
Buddha. That was it. I was like, okay, now I get to see you fight. No, you don't.
No, I'm just gonna give you a ball of sun.
Then I'm like,
That's it. A
you're
ball of light.
meant to be the head of everyone. And then the other three just stand. And the only time where the three wake up is when Luffy decides, when they try to rescue Luffy, to leave. That's when the three are like, no, you're not going anywhere.
It just made it seem like none of them have any real heart into the whole process. Do you see what I mean? It just felt like, he's got up there. Oh, maybe I'll stop him right now. Oh, maybe I won't.
Not only him, Whitebeard. There was times where he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, he was
Whitebeard,
standing there.
you're standing there. And you're letting all these guys die. Your power is magnificent. You're doing when you do attack, you're doing some fucking damage.
Yeah, his power is really, really crazy.
Why don't you just keep up the attack? Nah. Then, you know what? Honestly, there's no other way I can say this, man. He let himself get stabbed in the chest. Honestly, man. You couldn't see that coming.
Well, like they tried to make out like he was sick, innit? He's sick. So he's old. He's very old and he's sick.
And then, right at the end when everyone's dead and he's the only one alive, that's when Whitebeard decides that he's going to fight properly. It's too late. You fucking got so many holes in your chest, knives in your chest, but he put up a wicked fight. Whitebeard died like...
Seriously. When he was still standing there, man, I was in awe.
He was the pillar of the man. When he wouldn't go down after his death, people were scared of that motherfucker.
People were scared. They were like, demon. And then when they said scars at his front, none at his back, I was like, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and he just had the tattoo on his back. You know when Ace did get pummeled, yeah, it went right through to his back, right? And he had the tattoo at his back, gone. Do you know what I mean? So it was like a big hole just where the flag is, where Whitebeard's flag is. So it was kind of cool. Do you know what I mean? Like to say, yeah, they've eradicated.
It was a clean hole, and he really didn't. The way that guy killed Ace was just heartless. He actually punched him like a punch through a wall. He didn't care he was a human being.
Do you not remember that he got Luffy as well? He got him as well.
Yeah, I know. While he was going away, while he was being shown, he got Luffy and all that. Oh, that one I remember. They were going to do one thing that nearly made me think, there was one thing that nearly happened, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking, if this happens, man, I'm actually going to start hating the show. When Blackbeard threw that thing over Whitebeard and went under, I thought to myself, if this guy takes over his body, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna it was gonna really put me off One Piece. But again, One Piece didn't disappoint. He came out and he didn't see nothing. I was like, okay.
I didn't like what happened though. I'll tell you
and when
that now.
used his power, I was like, you know what, man? They kept a mystery of how he did that, because I'm like, obviously he doesn't want people to see what actually he did. It was very despicable anyway, but I was like, at least he didn't take his body, because that would have been the ultimate disrespect. If he walked around with his body being the bad guy, I don't think I could take that.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
But he just taking his power. Still was not very nice, but it really does show that his...
I didn't like it though. I don't like that, but
I like the fact they've tried to give his devil fruit power a really bad weakness. You're trying to say it can't all be good, but still, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the only reason, if the guy's smart, it isn't much of a weakness anyway, if he just uses his power smartly. And if he can still, I don't know if he's like that guy from Heroes where he can only take one power at a time, or if he can take multiple. Hopefully it's just one, because if he can just start taking powers, that's really stupid. Really, really fucking stupid.
I mean, time will tell, innit?
Time will tell, but if it was my bet, I think he can only take one. And there must be some kind of catch. That's why he actually, I don't know what he did. Like, I think that maybe there's a time limit, or I don't know.
Well, let's hope they make it interesting, because I wouldn't want him to just have that and done.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be, if he just has it, It just wouldn't. He's too powerful as it is. He's got that black
Yeah.
thing you want, and now he's got that wind cracking. That is a horrible. Whitebeard's power was great. It's a really horrible
He
power to
used
have.
it so good though, and
He
it's
did.
such a shame. You know what I did like though with Whitebeard? He did want to kill Blackbeard,
He could have fucked everybody up.
but what I did like about Whitebeard is he wanted to kill Blackbeard. He was gonna kill him. It's just
He
a
was.
shame he had no power left to do it.
Yeah.
And
It was,
in that sense, I was like, yeah. And you know what I do like about Blackbeard as a
but
character?
it's not like even Ace could have beaten Blackbeard at one time. To be honest, when they had their fight, Ace hurt him. But I don't know. I think the thing with Ace, he didn't want to kill him. He wanted to arrest him. And then Blackbeard was like, "You fool."
I mean, in a way, yeah. We saw two different sides of Ace, because Ace we saw when he at Alabasta was a much more cooled down, mellow kind of character, and the Ace that we saw in Marineford was more like, yeah, he was hot headed, didn't really think, you know. And the reason he died was lame. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, they made honestly, they made him look like a fool, and he was like, "I'm so stupid." Why?
Oh, sorry, I have to cut you. Remember when we were talking about Bleach the other day? You mentioned the fact that my man likes to talk.
Aizen.
Aizen, yeah, was what got him into, which was more poignant
Interesting.
than fighting. But let me tell you something. That flipping Molten guy, that volcanic guy. Did you hear the stuff that he was spewing out of
He
his
had some
mouth?
fucked up lines, you know. I remember he was
sick.
breaking some spirits. He really didn't give a fuck, man. He was saying some nasty things, man. I think he was just everything. It's just trash.
He got that guy to actually shank Whitebeard by saying that look at the situation, you know.
You know, it was good. He really did. You know, it was really. He really did put some good thoughts in his head.
That's what Aizen had nothing on that guy. That guy made you seem like a fool. The way he put things, making people look at stuff and think about it.
Fucking fools. he was an arsehole.
And now look at your weak master standing up there and you're running away. Pathetic. His era is over. Oh my God, he dissed Whitebeard so badly. He was like, he's not even a real. At least Gold Roger was a man. He didn't.
At least he had ambition. Your captain was a weak
guy.
Yeah.
And now he's dying with no name, no nothing. Just come on, man. Don. He had some proper lines. He made you want it to turn around. I was like, oh, snap. He got you. That's how it sounded like when he was talking. Damn.
You know what I'm saying, man? Let's wrap up the One Piece Big Three. Basically, man, you know, the last thing I want to say, people, we could talk about One Piece all day, but there's no point. One Piece is finished. It's like, I don't know, they call it the New World. It's on its second and last chapter. The 516 episodes of One Piece so far have been very, very enjoyable. One Piece is my personal pick-me-up anime. And if there's one, you know, I always say to people, there's one anime I'd recommend to people is One Piece. But I can't say that anymore because one, it's a bit of a, I think it's a bit of a pleasure. You should watch some other anime before you watch One Piece anyway. Because One Piece is really, really good, but you should watch other anime before. If you haven't watched, One Piece shouldn't be your first anime. It just shouldn't be. There's other anime you should watch first. But you know what? It's been really consistent. Movies, specials, episodes. The comedy is it's kind of Japanesey as well. Funny enough, it's very slapstick and reminds me of a lot of the comedy I've seen in there, karate and Japanese movies and stuff. It really does embody, it embodies a lot I like about anime. Creativity, good story, realism. And it's kind of simple. The thing about One Piece, it's not complicated, you know? It's just a really simple, good show that really makes you feel good. You know, I've really enjoyed my time with One Piece. You know, I watch it periodically. You know, it's a good show, man. And you know, for the people who think it's really long, I feel bad. You see it that way. You should just watch it in small doses. You know, you don't need to skip. If you watch a bit of it, you understand why. Because it's just an easy watch. You don't have to skip it. For the people who watch the dub first, you didn't watch the same show. Simple as that. You should watch it again in Japanese because you did not watch the same show, period. And yeah, I mean, The proof is in the pudding. People, you can look at the reviews. It's very, very highly acclaimed, but it's kind of still under the radar. And thanks to US fucking distribution, it will probably never be a worldwide hit, it's such a big shame when something like Naruto is making some serious money when it's not that when it's compared to this, it's not on the same level. But ultimately, man, if you even got this far in the podcast, because this is over 2 hours, you know what I'm talking about. Simple, you already know what I'm talking about. I probably should have said this in the beginning for the people who only listen to the first half an hour. If you haven't seen One Piece, it's a really great show. Simple as that. One of the best animes, one of the most consistent animes I've ever seen. It's still going strong 10 years later. And you know what? The writers they're trying to iron out the weaknesses that I've seen over time. My last concern is, it's gone on for so long and there's so much going on. Will the scope, will it stay focused? That's my only worry. Apart from that, man, good show. You should watch it.
We can go on about One Piece all day, yeah? And there are faults in it that I didn't even get a chance to bring up because there's so much other good stuff to talk about that even the things that are a bit annoying or don't make sense, you kind of forget because there's so much enjoyment in it. I would say One Piece is a commitment because it's long, yeah? It's been going on for 10 years, and I can understand why someone wouldn't want to pick it up and start watching 500 episodes, because in itself it just seems like such a long thing. But is it worth it? Hell yes, it is worth it. And I definitely think that this is an anime that I would give anybody to watch, in time, but just take your time with it and just try and enjoy it, because it has been going on for 10 years. And the way that I see it is, if now it's showing cracks after 10 years, then damn, man, we should be happy, because there's stuff that's only been going on for a year or 2 years and still can't get it together. So to me, One Piece is one of my favorites, and if someone's going to say that I'm a fangirl, I really don't give a shit, because it's just good to watch something that's going to make me feel good, watch it and feel good and laugh and cry and be happy about it. So for me, if I was going to rate it, I would definitely say it's first class for me personally.
Yeah, it's funny, I totally agree. I wonder why it's not in my Hall of Fame. I don't know.
I just want to see, you know what, for it to be
I agree, first class.
For it to be in my Hall of Fame, I would have to see the end.
Yeah, you're right. That's it. I'm waiting for the end.
Yeah.
You're right.
And when it then I'll know if it's in my Hall of Fame. But peeps, I think this is everything that you would want foundationally in an anime. That has been running for 10 years. Come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
You have to take that into consideration. 10 years.
Mm.
And so, if you haven't watched it, I definitely agree with you, Don, when you say there's so much other anime to watch. Definitely, But if you haven't watched it, you should watch it, man. It's cool. It's really cool. And I would say that you're missing out on some jokes. That's for sure.
You know what? If it ended like where it ended, because the way it was at the end, where it ended last episode, you saw it just basically said the end for now.
Yeah.
Would you give it a Hall of Fame for where it ended right now? If that was the end of One Piece?
No, I couldn't give it a Hall of Fame for that.
Neither could I.
I couldn't. There's no way I could.
Because it would have to be near perfect, and it obviously just isn't.
Not the last saga, no, because like you just said, there's so many holes in it. And I have to say this one thing, and people might say that I didn't understand it properly or whatever, but one of the issues that I have that we didn't discuss, and I know we shouldn't really bring it up now, is the fact that the seas, the Grand Line,
the Red Line, the New World.
And the New World just came out of nowhere for me. And if everybody says no, it didn't, then
I've spoken to people about it. I spoke to them at the spill party. They said that they were like, are they making up as they go along? Maybe they are.
Like, what I mean? In a way, sometimes I think that, they're going to start, they're going to start going in space or something. They're going to just come off the planet and go to flipping, start sailing in space.
If you look at a diagram of the Earth, because you can get a diagram of the One Piece universe, everything's inside the Grand Line, even the New World. They make it sound so big, but if you look at the map, it's so small. So
it kind of bothers me. That kind of bothered me. But You know, ultimately, no, I could not give it. I couldn't give it a Hall of Fame. It would have to be first class where it is right now. And to tell you the truth, I will say that where it has ended now, where it's ended, I really don't want to watch it right now. I just feel like it's.
You need a break.
Yeah,
We need
I
a break.
so need a break, and I just feel like I don't want to watch anymore right now. You know, because
Yeah.
you know I'm not that. I'm not going to say I was amused. I'm not going to say that the last. If I was going to rate the last saga, it would be a B for me. It wouldn't be like first class. If I was.
It fell down. It went down a bit.
Yeah,
for you.
it went down for me, and I didn't even say solid B. I said B. You know, and so because of that. But like I said, we have to take into consideration this has been going on for 10 years, and for it now to be showing massive cracks, which would.
Wouldn't call them massive.
Yeah,
Wouldn't call
that's
them
what I was
massive.
going to say. I was going to say massive, but I'll take that back. If it's showing cracks, that is now making me, you know what I mean, bring it down to a B. Come on, guys. It has to be an all right series. So, yeah.
Do you know who I really feel bad for right now?
Who you feel bad for, Don?
Myself. This editing's gonna be a nightmare. Fucking hell. Yo, shit, we've been going on for over 2 hours, man.
I
God
am so
damn.
happy this is over, though. Let me tell you
You
something.
are, innit?
I
But guess what
can't even-
goes for me? Because I have to listen to this all over again and edit
Happy
this.
joy, joy, happy joy, joy.
Hey, oh yeah, people! Announcement. If you got, I don't think we're gonna get this far, but
They turned off by now, man. They're gone.
that's a long time. So I'm taking a break, man. Podcast. I have to take a little. We're going on. I wouldn't even say hiatus. I just need to. I'm doing some exams right now. I've told people in the podcast group anyway. Hey, people probably skip this part so you can hear this part. So yeah, we're gonna be on a little break. I need to do my exams, so the Dreamcast is gonna be on hold for a bit. But I'm in the Tyro Cast group. I'll be creating new posts and interacting, so we're not dead by any means. But you know what? I've been pumping out episodes for so long. I need to take a break. I need to catch my breath. I need to go on vacation. And since I'm
Okay. We got weird weather in London right now, so you might as well.
hottest October British history. So, but yeah, man, I need to relax and get my energy back, and hopefully when we come back, when episode 8, someday.
We can just talk about anime we're watching.
Big 3 is over. All of our options. This the longest one, 2 hours, and well, it's 40 minutes right now, but I'm sure hopefully it'll be at least 2 hours and 15 or
How
just
long we been talking for?
2 hours and 43 minutes. About.
I thought my throat felt dry, boy.
Come on, One Piece fight. We did well though.
I could have gone on, to tell you the truth, because I have more negatives, but
Could have gone on, but you know what? Who knows? Over time, we might drop it. We'll be watching the new age, and obviously we'll talk about that in future
yeah, but
episodes.
we'll just be talking about that as normal. We ain't doing no 2 hour.
Nah, no. This is it. I think this will be our. Unless we're, so popular, so successful, and I've won the lottery, and I could just do this for a living. I don't think we'll do episode this long. And I tell you one thing, you want to say, when I finish editing this, you owe me a burger.
What kind of burger?
You're gonna have to buy me some kind of meal, because this is gonna be a monster edit. I gotta listen to this again, all of it.
How about a handshake?
No. You're gonna buy me a meal, all right?
199 mil.
One Piece fanboys and fangirls, thanks for listening, because you were the only ones that got this far, if you did. And I mean, it's a great show.
What did you rate it as?
I said first class.
Oh, you
I
did
can't.
first class too.
Hall of Fame as well. And I just want to give a shout out to all the fan subgroups who have been, all of the people who do this for free. I might be sitting here creating a 2-hour podcast, yeah, but these guys have been subtitling the episodes for us for 10 years, yeah, and I appreciate it every single time.
Grace, man. The fact that they put all the colour in, they changed the colours, they changed.
You think that we don't know? They special episode karaoke they do, This One Piece, I have to give special shout out to the fan subgroups, because they have stuck with the show. Especially Kaizoku fan sub, they have done so well, man. If they ever hear this, I want to say thank you. I already sent them a donation a couple of years ago. But One Piece is the anime that I don't ever see myself watching a dub of. I'll always be watching fan sub. I don't care about copyright. I will pay Funimation, whoever their money, so they can leave me alone, because I'm only going to be watching fan subs. You know, I don't know how I'm going to purchase the collection of this in future, but you know, and obviously above all else, I really hope One Piece doesn't let me down. I really hope it doesn't fuck up, man, because it's run so good for so long. It would be heartbreaking, but you know, it would be a shock. And it's an accomplishment they got this far. I know we've gone on and said this a million times, but I just have to say it one more time. So anyway, on that note, I will congratulate you and myself for successfully completing the big three.
Yes! Never again.
You know what? You should be singing Yo Ho Ho for us. Damn, still can't get you to sing for us, even now.
I sang Happy Happy Joy Joy.
I probably won't even put a song on the end. I just want this to be done.
It is done. This was your bloody idea anyway. Flipping hell.
Now you try. You know what I say. Let's get off the mic so I can teach you a lesson.
Try it. Bring it.
People, we're out. Thanks for listening. All right.
Yeah.
See ya.
So that you wanna be my friend.